Welcome into the Dice Dragons Guild. In this hall, we unite under one banner.
Whoa.
Live by the die.
Die
by the die.
It's so quiet without the other two.
I know.
here.
Oh,
What?
Oh shit!
all my
nice.
free rolls. And then on the first one.
What? A
That one?
I won.
Oh,
Nice.
you're holding
That's
a
all right.
13.
I rolled
Sorry, yeah.
Which, maybe if you're superstitious, is bad. I got 5.
19.
Whoa!
Oh, there you
all
go.
right.
All right. Well, welcome in, everybody, and thank you for joining us. We're doing something a little bit different today, where we are actually live on Twitch for the first time in a very long time. You can let me know how the sound is and all of that, but also, I don't really care.
Well, there are some stipulations because we will not be interacting with you.
Yes, stipulations. If the stream goes down, sorry. We're going to keep rolling and recording, and we will just have our VOD up at the end tomorrow when I usually put it up. We're not likely to see most of the stuff that you're doing, so if you grant people natural 20s and all of that, that's going to roll over into future sessions. So we thank you, but we're not likely to see it until next time. Please continue to redeem those channel points, though. We do have a Patreon. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. It's kind of loud. We have a Patreon.
We were fucking like bumping to it though.
And we welcome you to join it as we are giving out all of these thank you gifts, and we have some other perks like getting access to our podcast and the VOD a little bit early. So we're going to be building out that kind of stuff. We're getting ever closer to camera upgrades as well, which I'm very excited about. Somebody did just get a nat 20, so Fitz gave previous nat 20 to my favorite character, and now this one is for my daughter's favorite, nat 20 for Isla. All right,
Wow.
so thank
You got like
you.
4 now, don't you?
I had 2, used 1,
Oh.
now I got 2 again.
There you go.
2 again. That's going to come in
Wow.
handy
Nice.
for next time. I mean, you can use it today if
Oh, I'm
you
not
want,
going to use No.
Thanks, Fitz.
But as you can see, we are down 2 players, and so that means we're going to be doing something a little bit differently today. Please subscribe to our YouTube. You can see that we have breached 1,100 subscribers on YouTube. Hooray, finally. We are still marching towards the 4,000 watch hours, so if you want to head over there and throw some of the VODs up, that would be super helpful. It's funny because I had 671 on this one, so this is a super old announcement area. Merch. We got a bunch of merch. I forgot to give you yours,
Is it on the
Amanda.
box over there?
But I'm wearing a new shirt. It is the Dice Dragons, like 70s. I don't know if you can even see it. Style.
Boo.
Almost
Oh, I
like.
don't know.
Boo!
They're behind-
Everybody
I
point
get
at him and
it.
say
They're
boo.
I'll put
behind
it
the
on
curtain.
halfway through when we take a break. I'll put mine on.
You can get that at tinyurl.com/DDG merch. And like I said, this is kind of almost like the Rainbow Bright Dice Dragon style, but we have Live by the Die, Die by the Die, and our logo, and the Woven Fates, which is our main campaign. We have all of that. So
And per special request from Fitz, there is a set of 8, sold separately because I can't bundle them, coasters of the Chibi characters now on the shop.
Very
Fitz specifically requested that, and there's one other item that I have not gotten to that he also requested. That will be there soon.
I want
Love
a
coasters.
picture of little baby Rose chewing on the coaster of Isla. Just like nom.
I wish I could bundle them all together, but we don't have that kind of
Pull.
Capability.
capability, pull, authority on that shop.
Someday we will.
If we made our own coasters.
all right, so yeah, I think that's all of our announcements. Feel free to go ahead and use your channel points. If this works out, where we're able to stream live, we will probably start doing our monthly giveaways again. I've got some ideas, but as long as the stress level stays low for me, we will continue with this. Also, really quickly, announcement that we have done in our Discord. We are going to start having Enclave streaming live from our channel every other Monday. That's going to start on March 4th. We are looking for one more player, but Enclave is a new dice-less TTRPG created by Robbie Howell. You can check out his stuff at Robbie Lava, Robbie Lava, yes, on YouTube, and you can check out the Kickstarter as well. We're going to start kind of showcasing that, and my fingers are crossed also that we're going to have the Midnight Mondays coming back as well. Just a little bit to start, but we're going to start just getting some more content out there, primarily on Mondays, it looks like. And then our VODs will be out on their normal days, Thursdays on our YouTube. So, without further ado, we're just going to roll right into this. As dawn breaks over the watchful gaze of the cosmos, you set forth on a journey from the Sidereal Assembly, a bastion of knowledge and guardianship over the natural world. You are druids, scholars, and protectors. Your destination is a hamlet a day's journey to the west, said to be plagued by disturbances that require your immediate attention. Among your number was to be Alora Goldenleaf, alongside her husband, Temmond, both esteemed for their profound knowledge and compassion within the assembly. Yet fate has woven a different thread for Temmond. On the eve of your departure, an urgent summons came from Valirun Kaigeros, the headmaster of the Sidereal Assembly. Shrouded in secrecy, the purpose of this meeting, to be held in the morning, is known only to a few. Its importance marked by Valirun's insistence on the presence of the Goldenleafs. But the mission you are on also spoke of urgency, so a compromise was met. Temmond would stay behind and inform Alora of the details when she returns the following day. Thus you, Alora, alongside your companions, Haare and Maegli,
Is that how you say that?
embark to answer the call of the troubled hamlet. Your path weaves through the verdant heart of the forest, under the ancient canopy, and across whispering streams. And at this point, I will have you introduce yourselves. We'll start with Alora.
Why me? Is it because it ties into my backstory?
As soon as I heard assembly, I was like,
I am Alora Goldenleaf. I am a human druid, Circle of the Forest. I have dark skin and long brown hair that is in braids and brown eyes. And I wear dark green, kind of flowing robes and a circlet that's sort of a bronze color with a small green gem.
Okay.
I play. How did you say this again?
I said Haare.
Haare. I would have said Haare, but
hey,
Haare.
It's Haare.
Haare. I play Haare. Haare. I play Haare, a mountain dwarf, druid, Circle of Wildfire. He is 67 years old, stands at 4 feet 7 inches. He is completely bald on his head, with a very long, bright red beard that goes down to his knees. He also dresses in
which isn't that very
robes.
far.
For him, it's far. He dresses in long, flowy, comfortable robes as well.
It's kind of a druidy thing,
Druidy
I guess.
thing. Yes.
We love robes.
All right, and
I will be playing Maegli Tellian. I am a half-human, half-sea elf, a druid from the Circle of Dreams. He is about 6 feet tall with very, very long black hair, almost down to his butt, with very, very light... The human is more prominent, but very lightish green skin. And the notable thing about him would be his tattoo on his arm that just, it seems to change every time you look away and then look back at it. It like flows, I guess you could say, like water. So every time you look at it, it's never the same twice.
Okay.
I hate making up things on the go.
I should have read more of this thoroughly. I'm like, oh, I have armor and shit. It's under the robes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yes, so you all are actually riding on some horses that the assembly has loaned to you for this journey.
Can I have a mule or a donkey? Which one's smaller?
Of course you want a mule.
Mule, right?
An ass.
Yeah, I don't know if one's smaller or not, or if they're kind of the same.
Mule or donkey? They're the same thing, I think, right?
I'm going to call it an ass no matter
Yeah.
what, so it doesn't
I'll
matter.
ride an ass.
Okay. So,
Everybody's like, oh, wait.
Yeehaw.
Haare is riding ass right now. As you exit the immediate vicinity of the Sidereal Assembly, kind of looking back over your shoulder at the very, very large building. It is like a mixture of a library, an observatory, and your home. Everyone who is from the Sidereal Assembly lives there and has taken up certain educational missions or scholarly pursuits of some kind and training on your own magics. Maegli, was it Maegli you said?
Maegli.
Maegli.
Maegli's easier to say.
And Haare, you are druids who have a connection to the weave, but you are considered lesser druids than Alora. It is a real honor for you to have been chosen to go alongside her on this mission, and there's something about the potential for learning more and coming back with additional knowledge. It would have been just the two of them, Alora and Temmond, but with Temmond staying behind, two of you were selected to fill that space. So,
were we told why Temmond stayed behind?
I
I don't remember if you said it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know that Temmond has decided to stay because there's going to be a meeting tomorrow, and the headmaster wants
That's right.
folks there, and you are slated to return tomorrow, but just in case you get hung up or something, Temmond wanted to make sure that he would at least be there to fill Alora in if anything comes up. So you leave, you see Temmond like bends down, gives you a little kiss on the forehead, and this, describe what Temmond looks like for the rest. You all would know Temmond very well as well. It's a small assembly with about 20, up to maybe 25 members at any given time, so it's not huge.
He is a half-elf. He has sort of a little bit of like a stuffy librarian sort of vibe, like wire-rimmed glasses, brown hair. Sort of looks like if he was not in a fantasy world, be wearing like a tweed jacket with like patches on the elbows, just like very scholarly and kind of, you would like, he's like the professor you wanted to like impress, kind of.
Okay.
I like how you described yourself right then. You have the wire rim glasses, the brown hair.
Oh, yeah.
The whole like librarian thing if we weren't in a fantasy world.
And yes, you would have left early in the morning, and Temmond would have let you know, don't worry, I'll make sure that Desi and Isla are totally fine today. I'll explain what happened. And so off you went into the forests to the west of the Sidereal Assembly, which is located in the mountains, and on the base of a mountain range that is separating the Cassian and Callian empires. So what would you like to do as you start off into the forest?
I'm just happy to be there. Just following, bumping along on my little ass.
Maegly's trying not to smile too, like, I'm with Alora. Yes, such an honor.
Indeed, it is a great honor that you have blessed us with your presence. Our presence was blessed. That I will stop speaking, headmistress. What do I call you? Are you a mistress or are you a...
Okay. Oh, just Alora's fine, dear.
Yes, Mistress Alora.
Okay. Well, what is the goal? We're just looking for something in particular.
You are headed...
Her inner monologue. What are we fucking doing?
It occurs to me that I don't know what I'm doing.
Are we headed to a village?
You are headed towards a hamlet that you know is about a day's journey away. Alora, you had been told that there's some kind of disturbance that's happening along the hamlet, and somebody reached out to the assembly and asked for your help to something with the creatures. Something is up with the animals in the area, and this is more of an information gathering mission of sorts. People do know that they can reach out to the Sidereal Assembly, that there are druids there that are studying the stars and the land and the sea. But this is less about, we expect people to come here and kill something or fight something or whatever. You're not being called upon as if you are the Witcher or something along those lines. You are simply being asked to come and talk and then return with information.
Speaking engagement. Lovely.
But of course, the world is a dangerous place, and sending, only one person off would have been foolish. You and your husband being higher level druids, together and knowing each other's style and how to protect one another, that was a solid choice. But in lieu of him replacing with 2 additional people, not younger, I'll say less magically inclined. So the way that all of this works is not everyone, even with hard work and practice and skill, gets to be as high a level in magic as everyone else. Sometimes you just cap out at level 5 or at level 3, in this
Just
particular
a solid
world.
C student.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just...
Story of my life.
The weave you can't either handle more of the weave or you, something is blocking you.
I might be able to play basketball, but I'm not beating LeBron James type
Right.
of deal.
And even if you were to practice real hard, you probably would never get there.
Nope.
That's the way that magic works in Eleothis as well.
If gym class in high school taught me anything, was by playing prison rules, we did beat the basketball team.
Yeah, because you kicked them in the balls.
There's a lot of checking and pushing and tripping.
You called
no ball hitting.
They called it basket kill.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you can try.
It's easier to win when there's no real rules.
I'm more amazed 20 plus years later that the gym teachers just let that happen.
I think there aren't prison rules when it comes to druid.
Oh, thank
There's
God.
no prison rules when it comes to magic.
Yeah, druid skill and excelling in your weave
Where do you
craft.
hide your druidic focus?
I do, an exceptionally long beard.
Oh, I don't. Fuck.
So, you know what we don't usually do is, but I think it's important for like a one shot so that you can get really into who you are, is a bad blood.
We haven't done one of those in a while.
Yes. So I'm going to have you roll, oh wait, you already did roll and you got a 19. So you get to choose, as I look this up, you get to choose who
I
is
hate
going...
making stuff up on the fly, and you can make me make something up
okay.
on
Oh,
the fly.
That's all
you
this
demanded
is.
a one shot for today.
For a character that
Deal with it.
Bond reveal bad blood. So you're going to choose another person to have a scene with, similar to like how Fiasco works. And then you're going to roll a d20 plus your charisma modifier. And then I will tell you.
I don't know what the charisma modifier is. I will choose. So it's I'll choose
Bond reveal or bad blood.
Bond, and I'll choose because the way I'm imagining is that since you're like, no, little, not hoity-toity, but like you're, here, you're probably riding in front a little bit, and we're the meat shields, like we're the flunkies, so we're probably riding slightly back.
Yeah, the way that you would know Alora is that she's almost like in college. She's like a professor that you all want to be like. So
Are we students?
you're not necessarily students. You
We're
are
TAs.
Yeah, like you are members of the assembly. You are, you can let me know who you are. Actually, that's totally up to you who you are. But you are not as high up ranking in the tenure and status of the assembly as Alora is. But you're not like bodyguards. That wouldn't be how it works. So yes, so you're gonna have a scene with Haare.
I suppose.
And you can roll a d20 and add your charisma modifier.
What was your name again?
Maegli or Maegli. My
Maggie.
friends called me Maggie. You said charisma modifier?
Alora.
If for an ability check?
Haare.
Yep.
Just a... It's a 13.
All right, 13. So role play a situation in which you reveal or discover something about you, your path, your past, your motivations, why you're here.
I have no idea why we're even here.
In general, like why you joined the assembly, anything like that. Totally up to you. Take it away.
Fuck. This is like my kryptonite. So what do you know about this hamlet that we're going to?
Absolutely nothing. They just said, hey, get on the donkey and go do your thing. You'll be going with the mistress today. So that's what I did.
It's a fine donkey.
No,
It's a
yes,
fine
yes. His name is Bert.
Good day, Bert.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Hey, Bartholomew. And what do you think of the mistress?
I mean... it is-
Voice down. Voice down.
My voice is down. This is a whisper. I would not speak ill of the mistress. This is a great, great honor. I mean, we've been sure. I mean, what are we going to do besides? I mean, we'd be back there, or then it is a beautiful building and all. And I would like a window. I would like a window in my office. That is all I ask for. A window would be nice.
You have an office?
It's more of a desk near the latrine.
Just have a room. Hey, either way, I'm glad to be outside,
Indeed, indeed.
out of the assembly building.
Fresh air, or, adventure. I hear it is a wonderful thing,
It does get stuffy. It's
Yes.
very stuffy.
especially near the latrines.
I can imagine. Don't think I've been by the latrines.
Yes, well, you don't. I mean, most people don't come by. I teach fire, so you get those skills down really quickly.
In and out.
Yes. What is it that you do? I mean, I don't go to your side of the wall either very often.
Harnessing the power of your dreams.
Oh,
As silly as that sounds.
Sounds very interesting and reasonable. I myself have a little notebook where I write down all of my nightmares.
Sounds interesting.
Yes. Especially the one with the pie.
What do you... I would try to yes and that. Like, yes, and what do you do with the pie?
Oh, is that the question?
Oh, it is now.
I suppose it depends on the dream. Sometimes it chases me, and other times I eat it, it eats me. Other things that are private matters.
Dreams can be curious things.
Yeah, well, these are nightmares, but yes, absolutely.
Nightmares, dreams are all the same. They
My
come
teeth
from-
never fall out, though, so that's I hear that's a thing.
Never had that one.
Ah, yes, well, I mean, neither have I. Just mostly the pies.
Interesting. I'll have to investigate
Yes, please.
pie dreams.
Go through your scrolls and
I'll go through the library. Yes.
yes. I would be interested to know. I can give you my notebooks.
Thank you. just glad to be out of that damn building. That's all.
Absolutely.
I was gonna
Alora,
say that's not gonna go any farther. I have no idea what to do with.
We just
Man-eating
bonded over
pies.
dream pies.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it was more of a revelation. So, I would say more. Alora, you also just kind of riding ahead.
Horse just goes a little faster.
Yeah, you're listening in and hearing these two, who very likely, although again the assembly is small, but everyone does have their specialties, and in some cases there are groups of folks who are teaching, like having seminars, and then in other cases some people's research is more private. It is more, like they're doing a thesis on something, and so they're not sharing it with the world yet, but they are working on it on their own. And so you kind of listening in on what these two folks, who probably have not had very many interactions, there's a little bit of that like relief of not being involved in the awkwardness of the conversation that's happening.
Oof, glad I'm not part of that.
But also kind of keeping up your pace to like keep things going, because there is an urgency to this mission to get there and to understand what's going on. But then you also one of you needed to stay behind, and you had long conversations about who it should be, and it made sense that it would be Temmond. But whatever it is that Valley Rune wants to talk about, there's just a little like kind of that pit in your stomach where there's so many things. You're doing so many experiments and having so many conversations, but the fact that there is this underlying unknown, you like, yeah, whatever's ahead, we should take care of that. But I don't want to miss that meeting.
And the meeting was in the morning?
The next morning, yeah, tomorrow morning. So as you trample along there in the trying to make sure that you keep your horses happy and mule along the way, but
Bartholomew.
but this particular road is
Bartholomew.
How did we not get that? How did we not see it?
My brain isn't wired.
Sorry,
for
Izzy, that was
puns.
important.
No, I know.
I had to interrupt you for that.
That was bravo.
Quick question. What country did you say we were in?
you are in Calia.
Yeah, you said
Hold on, let
we
me
were
look
on
at my
the
map.
border.
at the
Let me
bottom
pull
of
up
a
the map,
mountain
actually.
range that's split to two.
I'll pull up our map here. So the
Nice.
full map of Eleothis. Oh,
And we're like, where do we look?
no, I'll put it up over on the one where everyone can see once I can navigate my
I can
mouse.
see. We can just.
So you are in sorry, you're in Cassia. I get my own two twin empires mixed up. You are approximately on the southern edge where Cassia and Callia meet. I do have other maps with additional information, and the VOD, of course, will have details of this, but there is a mountain range that runs up and separates. It is the natural separator of the Callian and Cassian empires. You are on the Cassian side. For the Woven Suns campaign, you can see that the Callian Empire owns a bunch of small islands, including Yamari Island. You are many miles away, heading to the west along this mountain range that I cannot remember the name of at the moment.
What does that eat? 100 miles per...
I believe it is 100 miles, yeah. 100 miles. So you're somewhere around here.
Are we allowed to cross jurisdictions?
Yes, Cassia and Callia are brother empires
right.
that are very, very close in all ways, and have separated amicably to expand in two different directions. So you actually speak a language, all three of you together, called Calasian, which is a mixture of Cassian and Callian languages that have just kind of merged into a single language.
So one of them is the Canada.
So, yeah, you continue along the this road that I remember what I was saying before. Is not well traveled. So there are main roads that lead. That to the southeast of where the Sidereal Assembly is, there is a village called Murnori. That's where you all go for stuff. Like, that is the village where trade comes through from either end. There is an opening in the mountain range right at the coast where it meets the green tides that you can head straight up into Callia from Cassia, and you're right on the edge there. This particular hamlet that you're supposed to be headed to doesn't even have a name. It's so small. There's so few people there, and the road that you are taking to get there is barely a road. It's like a path, beaten into the ground. You have to head through the forest for a little bit before arriving. So
Can I play I'm proficient with a flute. Can I play it as we go?
yes, you can make a performance roll.
With those, since I'm proficient, it's one of my proficient, tools or whatever.
Yep. So you
Do I add my proficiencies?
Yeah.
So that's, +2 at this level, I think?
It should say somewhere there. Yeah, it's either a +2 or +3. So you,
Oh, does add the +2.
Yeah.
And it was performance, which is 12, 13, 14, 15.
yeah, you do a beautiful job playing your flute. Kind of take it out of your bag and just play a ditty.
Yeah, it's
Play
one
a
of those
little ditty.
one of those ones.
I'm gonna pull a token dwarf thing, and when he starts playing, I'm just going to spontaneously start singing.
Okay.
To a tune, but like, in deep dwarvish language.
He's like,
Over the something misty mountains.
I'll try to harmonize somehow.
He's
Okay.
not
Something.
even. He's not even worried.
No,
He's
I'm saying.
No, I know. You you just took it out, and he's like, "Oh yes, this would be good." And then, but just like music, there's no concept of harmony. It's just like, oh, there's music. I will now sing the words.
He has a concept of harmony. He's gonna try to harmonize with you.
How does Alora feel about this situation?
Alora is kind of like trying not to show any reaction from behind to it, but is sort of like the smirking, rolling her eyes, kind of like, all right. Like, it's kind of funny. It's kind of annoying, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice, I guess, having something to listen to.
There's this, you've worked with each of these individuals kind of one-on-one and know their like little quirks and whatnot, but having it kind of allows you to focus on the nice music and crazy singing that are going together. Are you proficient in performance at all?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Yeah, so the nice music and it's like taking your mind off of, what you need to do and the kind of torn thoughts and feelings you're having about being away from home and being away from, your son and your basically like adopted daughter as well.
Oh, have the two of you been practicing this before, or is this off the cuff?
Oh, no, my lady, this is completely spontaneous.
I have an interest in reeds and winds. I'm not sure about this one.
Oh, we're dwarves. We sing all the time.
I can tell.
About breakfast, about lunch, about pie.
You're very well practiced, he says as he rolls his eyes.
Well, the two of you really have something special.
Oh, perhaps if our career
knee. He's just gonna roll his eyes and get back to the flute.
Well, Maegli is something to fall back on, perhaps. And just like turns around, like just egging, just totally egging it on.
So you continue down this road. The suns are high in the sky. It is a beautiful, actually, summer day at the end of the month of manifestations, which is always a really great month for druids. This is actually the last day of the month. It's the 30th.
Question I didn't think to ask, and
Yeah.
you don't have to answer it because I don't know if that is going to play into all this, but do we know the year?
It is 1418.
Okay.
Where does manifestations fall, like chronologically?
It is let me count the total number of months. Once I pull up my thing, I can't remember if it's the 6th or 5th month of the year. One moment. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is the 5th month of the year.
And there's how many total?
There are 13 months.
13. So this would be like the 5th, and then the following Glee is where we are now?
Yes.
Okay.
What did the truists do on Manifestation Month? Like, just try to fulfill their dreams? Like,
It's just they make vision boards.
See, they really watch
stick
The
pictures
Secret
up.
a whole bunch
Yeah.
of times. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Can I play the flute one more time? I'm just curious to see if I'll roll good again. He's really trying to impress the teacher. This is the deal now. Now
Am I
that she
getting-
said that.
I might be getting my months wrong. It looks like there's only 11 months. I don't know how to count, apparently.
And then my phone. Oh, that's gonna be the same. Never mind. Damn. It's a 12 plus the 3.
Okay. No, you
I
consistently...
was hoping it was either going to be great or
It's very, very good.
terrible. I wanted to be like fantastic. So she's like, or like,
I would say like the amount of skill that you have, the average person wouldn't be able to do that. You are good at. You're doing a very
he's
good job.
nailing a free bird solo right now.
Right.
there's some asshole. Breakfast was
I
eggs.
just imagine you taking 2 rocks out of your pockets and just smashing them together as you
Like
sing.
symbols.
But they're just
I
rocks.
am so great.
Yeah. Well, you're a dwarf, isn't that like what? You know, you need metal and a rock and just sing them together.
With all of that, Alora, I'm gonna have you make a perception check.
Sorry. It's a 6. I didn't know. Well, I got. What do I add to that? Hang on. The 6 and the 9 on that die are not so different.
Ah.
Perception.
We're not so different, you and I.
Not so different. Plus 8. 14.
14.
Yeah, 14.
Okay. Despite the
Racket.
the cracking of stone behind your head as
It's like having children again. Young children again.
as Haare and like the beautiful but also piercing flute that is being played, these noises, you hear something underneath them, up ahead of you, kind of blocked and muffled slightly, but the you hear like the snorting of what you would expect of like your horse. At first you kind of like not stopping your movement, but just kind of focusing in on your own horse in front of you to hear if it's coming from them. But within a few moments you realize that you're hearing the snorting and like hoof sounds on dirt up ahead, and the like neighing and kind of bleating of not goats, but some other kind of animal.
It's not a goat.
It's not a goat.
Gentlemen, hold, please.
And you can hear it much more clearly, and as you're very slowly, like you slow your horse down, but you turn a corner in this still wood, and up ahead, maybe about 50 or so feet as you turn, you see a herd of deer. But you're immediately struck by a difference in their demeanor. They are gathered like on this very narrow dirt path, and they are making the snorting, and you can see their heads are shifting, and they're like moving in these jerky kind of very unnatural movements. You can see that their antlers are like extended, and there are some stags and some does in this group, but there's like something off. They almost look like they haven't even noticed. Normally, you'd come around a bend with horses, you wouldn't even get that far, they would have been gone, but they are like focused on something that they are all doing. They are bucking against each other, and one of them does at this point turn when it sees you and does the loud like out of its nose, and there's just something off with its eyes, like a sheen that is not normal. What do you do?
Can I tell like what they seem? Is it like they're all focused kind of inward at something?
No, there's almost like, if you can picture in what's a good, The Last of Us, or in like 28 Days Later, when there's a group of zombies that are all together and they're moving
They move
like
a
in an
mass.
area, but they're not focused, almost like they're on a video game loop of just like they stop and then they jerk and then they turn around and they go. That's like what these are doing, but they don't appear dead.
They're standing.
They are standing, they are walking around, but there's no, like, even as you're sitting here looking at them, the light from the sun is filtering through the canopy that is in the forest here. You don't see any indication that these are like undead deer. There's no cuts and scrapes, there's no blood pouring from anywhere. They look healthy, except that how they are moving is completely unnatural to their normal state of being.
Being a forest druid, is there anything that strikes anything for me in terms of like, I've seen something like this, I've heard something like this before, or is this striking me as like, I've never encountered anything like this or heard of anything like this?
You can make a nature check. Is anybody else doing anything as you turn the corner?
Can I assist on the nature check? I'm proficient with nature.
Yeah, how are you assisting?
I'm examining them thoroughly from a distance and calling upon my readings.
So you kind of like trot Bartholomew up to Alora's horse, and the two of you whisper back and forth like what your observations are, as you can see these animals getting more agitated, and what, if anything, is
Just watching and waiting for.
Do
like you
wanna
stop
roll
playing
or
your
what do you
flute.
want me to
Just,
Just slowly.
roll? Not helpful. 9 plus. Where's my nature?
Oh, I didn't realize that there was a description of the look of
12.
the character. Sorry.
no, I just threw it there. Okay. 12.
I 7.
A 7. The two of you together just kind of sharing notes back and forth. It's like, so there clearly are no wounds that are open that you can see. You do see a little bit of a, they're clearly agitated. They are acting in an aggressive way, where this, obviously they would have dashed away at the slightest sound of something coming down the dirt path. You do both notice that there seems to be like an eerie glow in the eyes. Just something is not natural about the way that the light is being reflected off of their eyes.
Are they looking? For some reason in my head, I don't know if this is how you said it or not, but I imagined that they were almost like in a circle. Or are they facing us, looking at us? Are they facing like inside? Are they facing away from us?
They are gathered, not in any kind of actual symmetrical
organized, okay.
shape. They're all facing different ways, and they're moving in that like jerky, uncoordinated, completely unnatural too.
But then when they noticed us, they all looked in unison.
Nope, there was only like a couple that
okay.
looked at you. Yeah. The others are still there. Are some in the back. There's probably like 10 or 12 of these that are just like gathered and.
Do you remember the deer from Slither?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm imagining. Somebody will get that reference eventually out there.
So you haven't seen this exact thing before, but what it does appear is, at the very least, you can gather together that this is not natural. It is very likely a magical something, but where it comes from, you don't have enough time to figure out, because one of them or two of them are starting to like walk in your direction, and you don't know what that means. You could try to see if you can calm them down. You can try to, back up and try to navigate around them, but it's going to be, this already is slowing you down on your path.
Perhaps, mistress, we make haste past them. Clearly a sickness.
Yes, I've never seen anything quite like this before, but I don't think it would be wise to get any closer.
I don't know how many spell slots that we have, because I don't know the druid class. So
It says-
It says on mine anyway.
Did it?
Yeah, I like where the spells are.
I was gonna cast animal friendship on the nearest one and see if it snaps it out of it.
Okay. So you
Where's
kind
it?
of, there's one that is coming close, and you can,
Oh, I see. Okay, 4 slots. All right. Sorry.
yeah, you can see that it's kind of like lowering its head, and this one in particular is one of the larger, I guess they would be called bucks. I don't know. Yeah, all the terms. Stag. And this one has a long, I mean, we all see these animals on TV, and it does them no justice as to how big they actually are. So as this particular stag is coming forward, you can see the reach on its antlers is likely a good, like if it swings its head, 7-8 feet out. These are magical creatures here. So it's starting to get closer to you. You're going to cast Animal Friendship to try to kind of calm it down. Go ahead and roll
It's this spell lets you convince a beast that it mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you see within range. If its intelligence is 4 or higher, it fails automatically. It has to make a wisdom saving throw or be charmed. I just want to... The intention of it is to see if this is some sort of a mental affliction it can be snapped out of, or if it is like a disease type
Okay.
thing.
As you start to cast that spell, it begins to charge in your direction. I'm going to have you roll an animal handling check.
No, great. What's the animal handling is... You use the rainbow one.
Okay.
And it hopped right out.
I'm actually going to let you roll that with advantage because you did use your spell.
Okay, that was a 9 plus 6. That is an 8 plus 6.
Okay.
So 9 plus 6 is 15. That's like the third 15 in a row I rolled.
Yeah. So you cast the spell as it starts to like it was beginning to charge, and then when you release the incantation, you see its eyes, like it gets closer, and then its eyes kind of like fade a little bit down to that normal animal sheen, and it skids to a stop, and then just kind of like veers off and looks at you, but then goes whoop, jumps off into the woods and is gone.
So more like a regular deer.
Yeah, it's now like, it was like, holy shit, and then like veered off, just like it came back, was like, where am I? Oh my god, and then jumped off. You see, though, that the other deer have noticed you, and one or two of them actually follow the other one away. They jump off into the forest, but several others are starting to get up their speed and are kind of approaching you more quickly than you would like.
Run.
Good thinking. We should best leave.
Run. Yeah.
Yes, well done. We best be moving quickly.
So are you going to try to veer off the path because they're blocking your way forward? At
Oh, I
this
thought they
point?
were like in a glade off.
Nope, they're
to
on the
side.
actual dirt road in front of you, kind of blocking. So you can either go around or go through.
There's only a
Basically.
few left.
There's probably about 8 of them left. There's a few, but quite a few.
How many are males with the horns?
We'll
Antlers?
go with like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
Might be able to outmaneuver 2 or 3 of them if we run through them full speed.
True. I could also try casting Animal Friendship too to try to like get the rest of them to skedaddle.
Does not only work on just one at a
Doesn't really
time.
work.
We'll say between the 2 of you, like you seeing this and you being a little bit higher of a level, go ahead and roll with advantage, and we'll say that like all of you together are able to, now that you have seen what one can do, like harness this power to try to
The rest of them.
yeah.
To kind of do that.
I've never
Maybe
had this cantrip before. Can I do guidance? I forgot what that
Yes,
does.
you can. You know that Alora is trying to like
I
really
was going to do God.
pull together.
Now you'll get a chance to guide me later, I'm sure.
Yeah, you are basically trying to not mimic the spell, but have it go out towards, more specifically, the more dangerous stags that are coming. The other ones are still like headed towards you, but their danger is in their body weight, and like they could hurt you there. But the stags have multiple knives on the top of their head. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen that YouTube video of the stag that had the head of another dead one stuck in
There's,
it?
there's quite a few.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Guidance, that's a D4.
D4. Yep.
Not like I actually have that spell or anything in my other character. What's my like spell casting? The number I add when I cast a spell.
So for druids, I believe no, I'm not going to try to guess what it is because I don't know. I haven't memorized that. Druid, spell casting.
Oh, I found it.
Okay,
+8, sorry.
there you go.
The spell casting modifier. It's like little ways down. Druid class features.
Oh shit! Was I supposed to add that to what I did?
You were. So you were even more successful than you were.
Great. Like I said, I've never played a druid. I've never even played a caster,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm like, oh god, what do I do?
Well, also, it's like, this is just a document sheet. It's not like the normal
Yeah.
character sheet that we're used to just able to look at real quick.
That's
and
why I
know what
was
we're
like,
doing.
when you were talking, I was like, look up animal friendship on Google.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm paying
gonna be
attention.
doing
I'm
that.
just Googling all the spells I have. 'Cause I don't know what to do. It's a 28.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so you all, like the three of you together, as you see a bunch of these starting to, some of them are still moving more jerkily, but the ones that are normally aggressive and now have whatever this is really fueling something in their blood, that have kind of started charging at you, all three of you are able to, tapping into the weave, the nature, chanting very quickly, but in unison, amplify your spell to reach multiple of these stags that are coming at you, and they do very similar things. Like one of them actually skids and like slides down right in front of you and then gets up and then dashes off to the side, and in doing so you see some of the smaller ones, the younger deer, they follow. Whether you reached them in particular, you're not sure, but they're at least following some of the leadership of this group. And they disperse into the forest.
Well done, gentlemen. Thank you for your assistance with that. It's concerning. I hope we don't
Twice.
encounter anything else like that, but maybe that's, what the folks at the hamlet were describing.
Here's a deer problem.
Perhaps it's a deer problem. Well, best make haste.
Indeed, mistress. Hop up, Bartholomew, hop up.
So you continue on. You do see, as you pass this area where these deer were gathered, you notice there's like a creature that is dead on the side of the dirt path. It looks like it might have been like a dire wolf at some point, but as you like kind of ride by and look and see just this tuft of fur and like the face of it looking up towards the sky, it has been impaled and trampled and just wrong place at the wrong time. Normally that would have been probably like a feast, like pick your delicacy for the day or the night, however long these deer had been here. It's not fresh as in it had just happened an hour or two ago. It's been there for probably a day. Maybe it happened overnight.
Came to the wrong hood, motherfucker.
But it is completely destroyed, which again, not to say that they're not able to protect themselves, but this looks more like a predator came upon what it assumed to be a feast and then everything turned on it.
Disconcerting.
Absolutely.
You continue on, not much further. Okay, just making sure the food is there. Not much further, you hear the rushing of water as you can see a river that the woods kind of like open up a little bit, and there is this river that is kind of like swollen over and bashed open whatever this like small bridge is that connected the one side to the other. And as you all approach, you just kind of get that fucking course feeling of just like, are you kidding me?
Is it like, how big of a river? Because like horses can ford a river, right?
They can, but the water is kind of going by pretty quickly. You definitely can. It's one of your options that you can
I
either...
did die a lot at this part of Oregon Trail.
Always trying to afford that,
Oh,
right?
every time.
So you do see that this the bridge is kind of partially collapsed in. The waters are just kind of like swirling around where that is as well. And as you stop to just take in where you're at and the scenario, also looking out for any kind of danger, you get a little bit of a sense that like this could be repaired. It's going to take a little bit, or you could try to go up or further down and find a different place to go across the water. You're not overly familiar with this area because nobody really comes this way.
At the sight of the water, the sound of the water, actually, Maegli's going to have a big smile on his face.
You approach, seeing the familiar water. Where you're at in the mountain or at the base of the mountain, yeah, you don't really get to see the ocean. Every once in a while, the assembly will take a little excursion out to the beach where...
He's just happy to see water.
Yeah, like the green tides is always a great thing to see, but nice fresh water.
Just anything. moving liquid water.
So what would you like to do?
How wide is this river again?
We'll say it's probably maybe like 25, 30 feet.
And is it one of those rivers? How clear is the water? Like, can we see like the underwater vegetation? And
you probably would normally be able to see that if the bridge hadn't collapsed into the water and then created all of this disturbance that then like creates like foam and bubbles and then the rocks and it's all swirling around. Like normally it looks like this would have been, fairly clear, but something has happened where there is more water there than normal, and the disruption of the bridge in the water makes it more difficult to see.
If I was to cast plant growth, would I be able to use the plants to like come up and like lift the bridge up and like intertwine with it, making like a bridge out of like the broken pieces and the plant life itself that we could cross?
What level is plant growth?
I was just looking at that spell. So.
Did we have the same idea?
I think we did.
It is
It's
third level.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, I just want to make sure it wasn't like a cantrip where you're going to repair a whole bridge. You could definitely try. It would take you forever. Yes. Go ahead and make, with the plant growth spell and communicating this together, is there anything else anybody else wants to do? So like the part of the plan is to try to boost up the plants.
I think Alora had pretty much the same idea. I had pretty much the same idea, so I'd like some way to help in the effort of making the bridge.
Okay.
I guess.
I would say with this work, it would probably take you, realistically, getting the plants to kind of intertwine and everything, it would probably take you like 2 hours to repair a broken bridge. But if both of you cast your spell together, it will be reduced to 1 hour. Is there anything that...
Do you have plant growth too?
I don't actually. I looked and I do not have plant.
Do you have any water things?
I have water.
Person.
I don't have to breathe in the water. I have a swim speed.
Will you swim across?
I was.
We'll wait for you here.
See ya. I'll just watch. I suppose there's nothing. I don't have any like accompanying spells of the same, of that.
All right. Why don't you? You can roll.
I'll keep watch. I'll make sure no deer sneak up on us.
Yes. Why don't you roll a perception check? And we're gonna also have. I'm gonna have you. No, you know what? I'll do it. I'm gonna have you make the roll, but I'm gonna make a roll about whether or not. I'm gonna do it. Don't worry about me.
Oh, plus.
There we go.
16. I rolled like a 10, and I was like, I don't know All the, you know what I mean?
Okay.
All the stats.
So you just kind of sit there while Haare and Alora hop off of their transportation and head over to the edge of the water, and together again in that like harmonious, you both are familiar with this spell, you chant the incantation and kind of like moving your arms together in directing the vines and the greenery that is coming up out of the water or out from the side to like knit together the stone and wood bridge in such a way like it needs to be solid. You're trying to get the tree trunks, basically, like the solid wood to come up out of the water and everything. And it takes a little bit. And as you're doing that, you have, I'm going to call you Maegli because it's easier, on your horse, just kind of like going back and forth, riding up a little bit and just keeping an eye out for any sounds. But there's nothing occurs that gives you any cause for concern. And after about an hour, the suns are just in this clearing. You can see them a lot better. It's probably about like almost noon by the time you finish, and the suns are like right up above. It's hot. You're sweating as you're going.
I have the image of the bridge in my mind, like the all put together, but like with like flowers, because we're druids, so like that's what naturally happens. Yeah.
As you like cross, you get onto your steeds, and you feel really confident that like what you've actually done is probably going to solidify this bridge for a while. Nobody's going to have to worry because it's natural and it's going to continue to kind of like grow. Eventually someone will have to come and repair it, but you feel good that you'll be able to get back home totally fine. You kind of cross over the bridge, having saved yourself some time. Alora, as you're crossing and the little flowers are being encouraged to bloom on your way over, there's that like little bit of a sense of relief that, you know, your stomach drops when you see a bridge broken, but even the amount of time of the two of you working together, and like very, very impressive circle of the moon. Wildfire. Having this level of ability, you and Temmond probably could have gotten it done basically just as fast together. So something that you just keep mental note of Haare's.
Does a check
progress.
A guy by the toilets. He's got some skill.
We might get you a window after all. Put in a good word.
And you cross over, leaving the sound of the rushing water behind. And eventually, maybe another hour or so, you kind of feel this change in the air. Even just the air that you're breathing, there's, I won't say a thickness to it, but just almost like a humidity that starts to creep in, and nothing much changes about your vision, like the actual greenery itself, the foliage and everything. You can still hear all the birds chirping, but you start to, I'm going to actually have all of you make a perception check. What'd you get? 21? All right. 21.
I'm rolling good now, but I know if combat breaks out, fucking 2, 4, 2, 3.
16.
16? All right.
Still looking to see where it is.
All right. So Maegli, you notice first.
10.
Okay. You notice first that as you're looking at some of the leaves, you can see like they start to shift color, even as you're looking at it. But then when like you close your eyes and look back, they're back to the green that they were, or the orange that they originally were. You start to notice like shadows moving off in between the trees, or like a creature that you watch a squirrel as it goes up the side of a tree, and then as it's going up, it kind of shifts into like a frog, and then you again blink and it's a squirrel again, and it's just like chittering down at you like kind of angrily. You, Alora, notice that the path that you are on, it will like kind of go off to the left, but as you're walking on it, then you notice that it's headed to the right, but then it feels like it's going straight. Like there's no change here. Something disorienting about this part of the forest that you haven't been in before.
We're having a fearing loathing in Las Vegas moment.
If we licked a bunch of toads or something like that. We licked a poison dart frog.
So this is going to be a kind of like a skill check to see if you can orient yourself through whatever this portion of the forest is. You can make a perception check to discern the true paths. Only one person can make the check, but you can help if you have a compelling story.
My perception's pretty good. Does someone want to help, though?
Perception's +3.
Mine's, I believe, +6, so it would make more sense for me.
Yeah, mine's +8.
So Maggie's going to take charge, or you're going to go?
I will
I
go.
would, I would be.
help.
Yes, I would be helping you. Naturally, that was what would happen since you're like the de facto highest rank, I suppose.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think I would notice you like taking notice of things too, and probably could tell by your face that
Right.
like you're also seeing
Something's not right.
funky. So
Sounds about
kind
right.
of like motion to you to like let's like investigate
Keep a
this
weather
bit
eye out.
further. Yeah.
Okay.
So should I roll?
It's going to be perception. You can roll with advantage. Trying to, the two of you together working to identify like when the path seems to veer off, and it's like, no, it's actually still going straight.
24.
Yes. All right. So you feel very confident as you go that the path that you are choosing, you're made even more like confident as sometimes when you start to veer off of it, you'll look and it's like right there. So the two of you together navigating, it's almost like two pairs of eyes looking are able to merge this 3D.
He would pull his horse up next to hers that way in case it seems like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if she starts fucking
Like
veering
veering
off,
off.
we would try to keep pace.
And I have Bartholomew taking gently into his mouth the tail of his horse.
Right.
You know, we gotta tie our horses together.
Oh, I love the imagery. It's like the mother elephant and then the baby holding the tail with the trunk.
So I'll have one of you now make a nature check, and I'll explain like based off of how you roll as you're looking
Proficient in
around.
that.
Yeah, it can't be Alora this time because she already rolled.
Okay.
Only +2.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so from the rear, as you are following these two larger horses and just taking stock of everything around it, you can't see ahead, but trying to discern what is maybe a better way of identifying what the best path should be. You're kind of looking at all of the flora around. So you can make a nature check.
19.
Okay. What you start to notice from the back rear of this little procession here is that there appears to be a particular type of flower that is lining the path. And when you start to veer off of it, there's this like little purple bud that is, you veer off and the purple bud isn't in that area. And then when the two of them like lead you back onto the correct path, you are starting to identify that there's something magical about the flower that is perhaps, it's either causing this or it is a way to help you identify where to go.
I thought we were in a poppy field getting high as shit.
Sticky over the egg.
And you are able to kind of let them know, which helps you speed up a little bit more and pay attention to which of the flowers. So the last check is going to be survival from Maegli
Okay.
to maintain the direction.
6 plus 6 is a 12.
Okay.
Weird. Did you hear that?
It was
Yeah,
spooky. There was a little
way
spooky
off.
thing in
It sounded like
there.
the life stream from the original Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, I didn't hear. I was focused on reading. I missed
weird. I was
it.
like,
Just got a little spooky for a second.
So you,
Sorry, I killed us.
yeah, you killed it. You're walking, you fall into a ravine and instantly die.
Hit of spikes.
You're trying to maintain focus on these flowers, but then you also at some point notice that there's a couple of different flowers that are that color. And with you focusing on, the two of you focusing on which way to go, you end up kind of veering off to the side, and it takes about an hour for you to realize that, like, you probably should have come through this already, but you are not. You have not. So you just all stop and take a moment to take in your surroundings a little bit, like that frustration of, like, all of you realizing together that you're lost.
Are we not seeing the purple flowers anymore?
You are seeing the purple flowers, but you're also seeing other purple flowers that kind of look very similar to that one, and trying to, like, get down and figure out which one is the one that you had been following this whole time is more difficult because you don't have them to compare against what you were following.
I feel like, come on, now we're druids. How did this, come on, we should be able to tell flower from
Those
flower.
are
from flower.
things.
Does anyone have talk to plants?
I don't think so.
As you're standing there, and the time is ticking by, the still plenty of light from the suns. It's summertime, but the hours are going. You feel, we'll say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maegli, you feel a little, like, ding on the back of your head as, like, a little something hits you, and you look down, and Haare, you notice a little stone that has hit the ground. It's very small. It's a little pebble, basically. And you hear a little, like, off in the woods.
Ow.
Heard that, yes?
All right.
A stone.
It's more of a pebble.
Dwarves.
And it really likes you. You feel another one that ding.
Ow!
And a little, like,
Because we were looking at him.
Stop throwing
this time.
things!
We're able to see the direction they came from.
what's your passive perception?
I have no idea.
Or actually, go ahead and roll a, it should be right up at the top. I moved it up to the top there. No?
Oh, it's
So, okay.
How did you see that from there?
What's your passive perception, Maegli, and what's your passive perception, Alora?
Are you going to tell me where it is? Because I
It's
don't...
up at the top.
very top.
Oh,
It's like
okay,
right
I
under
see,
class
yeah.
and race.
16.
Okay, 16.
I can't find my own.
Maybe I forgot to move Alora's up to the
Got
top.
it.
No,
Everybody
18.
Okay, there it is.
Oh, I
Okay.
got the.
All
'cause I'm
right.
short, isn't it?
Yeah,
You can only see the low thing.
All you see is the horse's ass right in front of you.
That's why I said it's a pummel.
So I would say both Alora and or yours is an 18, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say Alora, you're the first to see. You see this little see a little figure that's like on a leaf, and it's perched there. It's got these like little dark legs and like a big head with these big eyes. it's and then it has this kind of wispy colored smoke that's almost like surrounding it. It looks like a combination of like a flame and smoke together. That is surrounding its head, and the color that you're seeing right now is this like very light green, and just all the little wisps are going, and it's very small, probably 5 inches at most, standing on a leaf, probably 10 feet away from you, behind and up, and the leaf that it's standing on looks like it should be like drooping, but it's almost as if there's zero weight to this creature. And you can see a little toothy smile. And you can make a nature check.
Nine.
There's so many things that go through your head about what this could potentially be. And
do we all see it?
Maegli, you can see it next as you are looking in the direction of where you see the professor's eyes go. You can also make a nature check.
Did it have wings?
No
No
wings. Yeah. You kind of like racking through your head as you're looking at it, you're like fairy or like the fae, that's really kind of what pops into your head immediately.
I'm trying to use these because I never get to use the round ones.
Yeah.
It's 8, 9, 10, only on 11.
An 11. You
See, now the shitty rolls are stopped.
well, you being a part sea elf, you look over at this little creature and you can see the wispy smoke kind of flame looking thing, and you actually have heard of this. You like rack your brain, like, what is the word? It's not a fairy, as you're saying out loud. This looks like a fairy or fae of some kind. No, it's actually it's an elemental. It's a little tiny elemental, and they can come in all different types. It's called a chwinga. And
Chwinga.
Chwinga.
With a T?
CH
Oh, it's a C.
winga. Chwinga.
Chwinga.
Yes.
Chwing.
And these are
Doesn't have any
little
Chwingas.
these are little tiny elementals that come in various types, but they're known for they live in like plants and rocks and things away from civilization, and they can be found in pretty much any climate. And depending on, they're usually pretty shy, so like seeing one that's like hee hee and then like kind of disappears and then pops up over on like another little leaf.
Do they speak Fae?
They would speak from what I'll have you make, now that you know what it is, I'll have you make an Arcana check. Actually, all three of you can make an Arcana check now that...
It's a Chwinga.
Oh. Let me see if I remember anything about that.
13.
Okay.
19.
19.
Nice. Teacher, it's a Chwinga.
3.
Oh, yes, that rings a bell.
And it's a little fire thing, and it's like, my thing is fire.
Well, it's kind of... I'm having like a hard time describing what it is. It's not really fire. It's like a smoke that looks like fire. It's like I'm sure there's an anime where I could, if I pictured what it was, but it...
When you described it, I imagine like a little will-o-wisp.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like it's light that moves that looks like fire. But Alora, when he says Chwinga, you go, oh yes. These little elementals, they don't actually speak anything, but they're known for being typically pretty shy and like don't really interact with people. Right now, this little elemental is the only thing that you have available to you to kind of help you get out of this situation, though. So your immediate thought is, even if you can't directly communicate in a language, maybe it knows how to get out of here.
I think Alora will just speak to it.
Okay.
Oh, hello there. Hello. Do you understand me?
It just goes, disappears.
Oh,
Pops up again,
Oh.
very close by, and another leaf. Again, the leaf doesn't even move. It's just completely still.
we've a bit lost our way. How do we get back to the path?
Throws a rock and it hits you in the forehead.
Oh.
And it goes,
Oh.
and disappears.
Whale again.
That was. You
I
see
know,
how
it's
it's
so
Did you hear it that
spooky.
time?
Yeah.
Kind of.
I have a sling.
Okay.
Is there a way to throw a stone using the sling at it without trying to kill it? Like this little thing. I don't want to be like, I don't want to take it out. I just want to. It wants to play and be mischievous.
I
So
would
instead
say
of just using your fingers to throw rocks,
I
you're
would
gonna
say
use a sling?
the better choice would be to just kind of throw it.
I just saw that I had a
They hit it.
sling.
You want to play? You want to
Oh,
play?
wants to play.
Oh, it likes me. Okay.
But yeah, I would say are you trying to like hit it back, kind of, but playfully,
Just-
obviously.
Yeah, like the way
Go-
you play Nerf darts with your kid.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, go ahead and roll like a d20 and add your dex to try to hit it.
Oh, my dex, I'm pretty sure is 0. Oh, my dex says 15. What would that make my mod?
That would be
modifier?
plus
Plus
2.
2. I keep bouncing it off. Another 8, 10.
Okay. So you like toss it, and it comes close by and like just passes it just a little bit, and it laughs, and then just pops up right on your shoulder. Make a. I will say the two, or I will say that Maegli can make a persuasion check with advantage because you attempted to be nice.
I was going to say, could I actually try casting? I know it's not a person. Can I try casting charm person on it when I see it pop up on his shoulder?
Does it say humanoid?
It says humanoid.
It's technically a little elemental. It's not
Okay.
a humanoid, so you would know that that wouldn't
it's like
work
an
on
old
it.
baby elemental.
Yeah,
So
it's
cute.
a little tiny baby.
It's a 14. That's a 10.
Okay.
14. You said persuasion?
Yes.
15.
Okay. You see
This over here.
the like between little like giggles, the chewinga grabs onto your very pointy ear and like tugs on it and then disappears, and it appears in front of you on a leaf and then appears a little bit further, and you realize that you got to follow this little buddy if you want to try to get out, but it looks like it's leading you, and really at this point your only thought is like, well, hope it's leading us
Not to a grisly death.
not to a grisly death.
I feel like I'm playing Zelda now. This is what the karaoke things do.
Nice. Never say that to the DM. I just saw.
No.
I
I'm not
just saw
saying
a
they
Facebook
lead
reel,
you to
TikTok
doom.
thing.
I'm saying they have a little thing where it's like you see a flower that clearly doesn't belong there, and then you get to the flower, it disappears, and over here, and it does it like 8 times until you get to like a little forest dwelling person who gives you an acorn.
Well, I just saw the Facebook reel where it was a guy talking like to himself doing the dual thing. He's like, so anyway, I've created this entire town. It's awesome. It's got like a waterfall that runs down the middle of it. It's kind of run down. Seems like a shitty place to live. So anyway, you walk into Bleak Falls. One of the guys goes, oh, like Skyrim. And then and he's like, okay, and they get over that. And he says, all right. So anyway, in this whole kingdom of Westeros, and he's like, you mean like Game of Thrones? And he was just
They
continuing
keep
Yeah.
comparing it to things.
because you never remember how much things bleed.
Yeah.
I've done that so many times where I'll come up with a name or a thing, and I'll branch up Lee, and she, who's not into like fantasy stuff, she's like, oh, kind of like this other thing, and I'm like, fuck. I guess so.
It's no original ideas
It's
anymore.
it's fine. It's all been
It
done.
all happens.
It makes us happy. So the little elemental leads you along, and Haare, you at one point on your path out, and you feel confident that it's leading you out as you start to get back onto where you're starting to see those little flowers. You see another flower that appears to be, it's kind of like out of place, and when you kneel down, I hadn't watched this video game.
No,
so.
I mean, I just literally just explain what they do.
Yeah, but it's but it all works. I mean,
Well,
it's all...
when you kneel down and look at this, it is like it's radiating a glow very similar to the one that you saw in the eyes of the deer, and kind of like take that flower.
I'm dumb enough to pick it up.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't get a sense that like it is, there's something about, in order to have like evidence of whatever and study it to move forward, you kind of take that with you, press it down into one of your books and stow it away. What it tells you as you're looking and like get back onto Bartholomew and head off is there's something in the area. It's not just these deer or like one particular thing. Maybe it's in the water, but like you're going to need to study it to understand. You are eventually led out of the little alcove that you had kind of like been in and back onto the path. The elemental at a certain point just disappears and doesn't come back. Like it's almost like
I wanna
not
say
one
bye.
of those bye. No, it just
I want to be like...
gone. Like it was, popping up and getting you back, and then at one point where you're waiting for it to appear again, it just doesn't.
I rather like that little thing, even though it hit me twice.
Shame it wouldn't come back with us to be studied.
I'm gonna have roll a d6.
Everybody?
Yeah, everybody roll a d6.
3.
3.
5.
Haare, you see appear like right on the top of your mule's head a little like green charm that's like very small, a little like gem that is the same color as that wispy smoke that you saw. And when you like pick it up, you Alora, looking over, it's like, this is something that Chwingas do. They will, if they like you, they will leave you with a little charm that does something. And given the color of it and the your connection kind of like to the weave and how you know the different gems and what they work through and how they pull the magic and expand upon it, this looks to be a charm of restoration.
The only one I didn't throw something at.
Looks like you made a friend.
I think it liked us.
I don't know if it liked me.
And it's not too long after you're back on the path that you do find yourself arriving at what is clearly this hamlet that you've been told about. You see it emerge like a lot of things that happen in the forest, where it's just kind of like it's not there, and then you turn the corner or you turn around a rock and then there it is. A very small hamlet. Things are starting to wind down as the suns are setting, or we're getting into like evening time for 3-4 o'clock. You lost a lot of time being lost, although you had gained some when you fixed the bridge. And as you arrive and turn the corner, you see very quaint kind of There's a water mill that's in the like river that has been coming around and meeting and then disappearing on you for a while. Probably only 10 houses, if that. And the people there are all getting ready for like the evening. And as you turn the corner and see them, you're expecting this like a greeting of, oh, there you are. Like, you kind of turn, you have your smiles on, ready to greet the folks that are there. And when you arrive, people look more confused about what you're doing there. And one human man comes up, and you see a couple of other people who like hang back, and he says, "Well met. How can I help you folks?"
We are here representing the Sidereal Assembly. We were told you sent for us about some
Sidereal Assembly. We haven't. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. Who in particular sent for you?
Do I know who sent for us?
No, you just got a message that.
Like someone higher than me told me. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm actually not privy to that particular detail. I was just following orders, I suppose. I'm sure there was some sort of disturbance with the wildlife, and that we were to check it out.
Your feeling at this person as you watch his face go from like light confusion to like a deeper confusion, and like the lines in his forehead settling in, and you already having been uncomfortable and wanting to, stay home. Mm-hmm. As you are looking at his face and he just kind of starts shaking his head, that feeling in your stomach of something is not right really just like becomes rock hard. There is no doubt in your mind that something is not right. And he just shakes his head, looks at you. We haven't had any issues with any wildlife. I'm sorry. You must have been the wrong place.
Looking around, is the vegetation and general landscape similar to what we would expect being in this area?
Yeah, you take a look around, and you see a couple of folks that are part of the hamlet. Like they've gathered up some fruits or berries from
like
trees,
like the species of the trees and stuff. It's not something completely
everything
abnormal
looks
or wacky from this area.
No,
Are
it
there
all
any of
looks
those
in
funky
place.
flowers anywhere?
No, you left those flowers an hour or so behind you.
Is it possible, mistress, that we have the wrong village?
Are there any other villages around or hamlets close by?
The nearest one's gonna be probably further west, another day or two.
Oh, that's the closest?
Yeah. There's a little stopover point in between, but I'm sorry. It seems like there was a miscommunication.
You're sure there's no one else here that maybe would know something about this? Like you...
No, we're kind of a collective here, but Charlie! You see, like, a woman shuffles up a little bit, but not too close. Like, you send off for the... What was it?
Sidereal Assembly.
The Sidereal Assembly, and she just, like... No.
Do the villagers that aren't talking, like, do they look normal? Do they have glowing eyes? Jerky motions.
You kind of look around at everyone, paying attention to the way that they're moving, and you know, as this conversation is going on, everyone looks totally normal. You see some person that like sees you looking and is like narrows their eyes, looks at you, and then turns and heads back into their house. Like the only thing that you're seeing really is some folks who've stopped to look at you, and now that they see who you are and like you haven't done anything overtly aggressive, they're like, well, I got dinner to make, and like kind of turn around.
Next town's a day that way. They got the Walmart.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're welcome to stay. We don't really have. We could figure it out if you need. Suns are gonna start to go down.
Do I know who gave me these orders or this mission?
You know that it came from Valley Rune, the headmaster. That it appeared to be a legitimate inquiry. And you know, actually, now that you think about it, it was very much like a last minute thing. Mm-hmm. This isn't something that had been prepared several days ago. Like this came down as, well, we've got a report of something strange happening, you know, at this hamlet. You know, we should do some research on it because they reached out to us. But there's just something that doesn't feel right about this.
And am I confident that this is the right place?
Yes.
There's not
You were sent in the right direction, and if the nearest place is another couple of days away, it wouldn't line up with what you were told.
That's what I was thinking. Same thing with, like, since we went into those woods with a
Yeah,
Fey
like, did we get
elemental,
turned
we're on a
around?
completely different continent. Or so. That's why I was asking, like, does it look like
No,
other species?
No, you're
we're where we were supposed
you
to
are
be.
in
I like
Yeah,
how
like,
this
did we
one
go in
shot
this
is-
way and we came out way over there?
I like how this one shot is so true to life. It's like we just wasted our time. It's just like just one of those times where you're just like, I drove 2 hours to get here. And they're fucking closed.
This isn't right. This is... Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to speak to...
All right.
S-
turns
clearly
around.
there was
He doesn't
some
even
sort of...
wait for you to
Yeah.
finish. He's just like, all right,
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, all right.
Did he say his name?
No.
What was your name?
Dirk.
I thought you were going to say dirt.
No, that's
Dirt,
what this
dirt.
hamlet's called.
Yeah.
It's called Dirt. The Hamlet of Dirt.
They farm dirt.
Oh. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I think something isn't right. I don't...
Could it be perhaps a anonymous resident sent out to plead?
I guess I would have expected that someone would have had some idea about if there's animals acting strangely. That
Which they certainly were.
they were along the way. We didn't see anything weird like within the hour
Nope.
that we were away because I don't know how often these people like leave. Probably not much.
Yeah,
but,
probably not often.
Perhaps we can ask around.
Perhaps. I just can't shake this feeling that someone sent us on a wild goose chase.
To what point and purpose, mistress?
I don't know, but I think we need to get back. I just have a bad feeling.
No, Mary, you are the lead here. Your command we shall follow.
How long did it take us from there to here?
It took you about, we're going to go with, what was that? You left at 7 in the morning, and it's probably about 4, so 10 hours, 9-10 hours.
Okay.
It's getting late, mistress, but if you wish to head back now, we will.
Be back by morning.
If you go, so you came not really knowing where you were going. Heading home's always faster.
Mm-hmm.
You fixed the bridge, so that is, and so kind of doing all of the mental math in your head.
We know the flowers.
You
that
know
we
the
need to watch for.
flowers. You
We
have.
know the duck, the little chwingo.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about the bridge. Hopefully those deer are not in your way. You feel like you could probably, you weren't galloping this whole time. You were going. If you need to make it back, you could probably get back like 10, 11 before midnight.
I don't know animals. Do like horses need a rest, or can you just?
You've been going at a pace where it was like, we'll get there. They've been, you've been feeding them and letting them drink and everything. It wasn't nonstop this whole time. They would need a rest if you pushed them really hard, but you could probably make it back in about half the time going at a decent pace without killing them.
Or get half to the halfway point and then gallop
Yeah.
until we
we're-
have to
we're
kill
also
them.
druids. I'm assuming we can all wild shape into like a horse if our horse dies.
Yeah, you can.
The choice is yours, mistress.
I'm so sorry, gentlemen, but I think we need to get back quickly.
No apologies necessary. Let's do it. That's a different accent.
So you pull your horses, looking to see if anybody is there to say goodbye to, but they're just kind of doing their thing. There's no need for any kind of pleasantries as you just turn and start
Leave
heading
them
back.
to their dirt.
Just
Dirt the dirt.
raking the dirt and
I love
smearing
that.
the
Dirk,
dirt.
Dirk the dirt farmer.
Dirt the dirt.
And you begin heading back. I'll have you make a, what do we want to do? We want to go with, we're going to go with a survival check, but all three of you go ahead and roll, and we're going to see how fast you make it back. Based off of your highest roll.
18.
18,
15.
15.
Survival.
It's under wisdom. Took me a second to.
Oh, yeah.
I never remember what
24.
skill goes to. Nice. What skill goes under what
Right.
stat?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With Alora at
24.
the lead,
Very motivated.
you make double time. You are headed through, paying attention to, especially trying to get through the hardest part here, which is the flowers, while there's still light, so that you're not having to figure out how to do it in the darkness. Montage, you can see yourselves galloping through the forest, coming to the bridge, which is beautifully done. The flowers are all kind of starting to close as the suns are setting behind you. Heading in, weaving through the forest, coming to the area where that, just it's like a shot of the body of that dire wolf that's just flies and your hooves are just
I was gonna say it's honed in on the dire wolf, and you just see the hooves.
yeah, just going past. And you
Need a hero.
you slow down a little bit as the sun's, once they have set, you shouldn't have your horses run in the dark. So you are doing your best, but you have a mission, and it is to get home. And you're taking the deep breaths, and it's kind of burning your lungs as you're trying to keep yourself calm, but the closer you get to getting home, the more sure your brain is that something is not right. And the two of you behind her as she is going, you can't help but also feel that. Maybe when she was at the hamlet, there was a thought of, okay, she's nervous. But you have continued at this pace that tells you there's an urgency here, and that communal feeling of something is not right has started to settle into you. And
Something's worrisome enough to bother her.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would be able to tell she's kind of
And we should be worried too.
never. Yeah, you should be worried if she seems worried. She seems worried. I think I would like to. I've not used the spell before, but can I grab some sort of stick and cast daylight
oh yeah,
on it to make it sort of like a torch almost, but giving us some light as we go?
Yeah, in a very Gandalf.
I was thinking the
Gandalf-esque
same
way.
thing, yeah.
You see just like, woo, and now you can see and you can start to go a little bit faster through the forest. And as the forest's dense canopy gives way to the night sky, the observatory of the Sidereal Assembly looms ahead, its majestic silhouette marred by chaos. The once tranquil grounds are now a battlefield, illuminated by the eerie glow of fires that rage unchecked. The air is thick with the scent of smoke and magic, punctuated by the clash of steel and the crackle of arcane energy. Shouts and cries of alarm form a desperate cacophony, telling tales of a struggle that has turned these hallowed halls into a war zone. From the vantage of the forest's edge, you can see flames licking the sides of the observatory's main tower, casting long, dancing shadows that play across the chaos-stricken faces of the defenders and attackers alike. As you stand, momentarily concealed by the shadows of the forest, the gravity of the situation sets in. The observatory, your home of study and sanctuary, is under attack. And that's where we're taking it.
My pies! Our pies are burnt.
As you stand, momentarily concealed by the shadows of the forest, the gravity of the situation sets in. The observatory, your home of study and sanctuary, is under attack. What do you do?
Orders, mistress. What do you recommend?
I guess I just need to take stock of like what I can gather from like so we're kind of in the tree line.
Yes, you are in the tree line.
Are there people like out in the yard kind of area, or is it more like it's happening in the building?
There is a combination. So what you can see right now is you're on the tree line. Your heart is beating. All you can hear in your head is just do 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 do, and like you're trying to take it all in as quickly as you can. You can see that there appear to be fires inside of the Sidereal Assembly, inside of the building. You can see some folks that are running, or shadows of folks. It is darkness here now. There are little motes of light outside that typically light up the gardens that are surrounding the assembly, and normally it's a very peaceful area. So you do see sometimes a person like running across, but it is very difficult to determine whether or not it is one of yours or whoever it is that it is attacking. Mostly you can see shadows, and then you'll see like or even hear like a blast from somewhere, or watch like light streaking across that then maybe hits a person, or maybe just hits the side of the building. The majority of what is happening is definitely going on inside, but there is action outside as well.
Did you douse your Gandalf stick? Or are we just
I was
like
gonna
this
say I
bright
would have.
beacon?
No, I would have definitely tossed it, like put it out.
Just
because
come
I don't
towards
want
it.
to draw attention to us.
Yeah. Yeah, so you come and kind of suck the light away. Also, it would make it easier for you to see if that light is not like blinding your own vision, so it would make sense that you would immediately kind of pull it away. Yeah, you basically kind of have a couple of things to just keep in mind. Again, is you are druids, but you are scholarly. Not that you can't defend yourself, and not that you wouldn't have the ability. You have your knowledge of how to defend yourselves, but you are not mercenaries. You are not soldiers. You are...
Say that to all the weapons I'm carrying, apparently.
You can defend yourself from harm, and you were going out into harm. This isn't like
Yeah,
Yamari
we probably would have
Island.
brought stuff with us.
Yeah,
in
like
case we needed it.
it's not Yamari Island where it's definitely safe everywhere you go. There are things out there in the woods, and you would have protected yourself. There are also people out there in the woods that's probably like normal life. The thing you're more worried about, not bears, but other folks. So just keeping that in mind, it's not that you can't protect yourselves. You definitely can. You're not soldier-minded people. You are scholars. And
with our eyes adjusting to the darkness, can we see, like you said, people running around, but can we like isolate somebody that we don't recognize, someone that we know for sure should not be there, like within that you know, from hiding from the tree line or whatever?
you are too far away at this point to recognize anybody by body from that far. In the darkness, with like the fires kind of flickering and the shadows being cast in all different ways, not from. You will need to get closer. So then your thought here, as you are thinking about your friends that are in this building and or family, you're allowed to bring family if you have them. They are inside, and you have very little time to decide what you're going to do. You can either, like, really your choices are either go full steam ahead or try to maneuver your way to avoid anybody who might be outside as you go in.
With the assembly, is there like I know there's the observatory, but is that the keep? Is that where is Aurora the headmistress of the whole? No,
Alora is.
but we have a leader.
Yes, the headmaster Valley Rune. Yeah,
The one who had sent us.
the one who sent you. Yeah,
and who was meeting with Temmond.
Yes, in the morning. Yeah. So
If there was a citadel or a keep where the leaders would be, it's probably where I would end up spurring my horse to.
yeah, the building, as I've pictured it, and you can feel free to add in whatever you were picturing as well. It's more of like this is it's like a mansion school. So there isn't necessarily like a keep. It's more that it's a big, large building. Similar.
I was going to say for gifted
Yeah,
children, I
like
was thinking the
it's a
same thing.
large, and in the center there is the observatory. Everyone lives, on the outskirts, and perhaps Valley Rune is in the center there. There are long halls that lead you, it's almost like a box shape, but it's not as if the center is detached from everything else, if that makes sense.
It's like
You don't
everything's
have
built off around it.
Yeah, you don't have to leave a building to get to the rest of the building. But there might be some open air spots in there. So in order to get there, you would have to enter the building.
My whole thing of asking if we could see anybody that didn't belong there was I could cast hold person on them, and then we can question them to figure out what the fuck's going on. Or we could just run into the fire.
I think Alora's first instinct for sure is the children, where she knows it's the middle of the night,
Right.
It's where she knows her family is, and Isla and Desi, granted they're 21, they are the only children.
Yeah.
They're the only non-adults, they grew up there, but everyone else is adults. So her first thought is we have to get to where the children are. Or at least that's where her priority
Right.
will be.
Yeah. As you are thinking about going through in your mind the layout of the building and trying to figure out where would they be, and looking to be clear, the entire thing isn't engulfed in flames. You can just see that through windows there are fires. You can also, as you're standing there and time slows down momentarily, you see down through the windows, you can tell that there is fighting going on in a hallway, because you can see just a streak of blue that will disappear and then appear in the next window and then disappear, and it then hits something. There is whatever is happening here is a mixture of natural and magical elements, and it is primarily focused inside. What you're hearing is also just the yelling of people. You can't make out any words quite yet, as you're just too far away. You're on the tree line, and it's a big building that basically which direction are you going? Are you going for the stealthy maneuver, or are you going for we're going in the front door?
It's
I'm
your
going in the
choice.
front door.
I think we all figured that that's what you'd want to do, but
We
we
all
want to
have
give you a
children.
shot.
We're all going in the front door.
Are the children like? Where are they? Ground level, second level? Like, where are they?
They're
supposed
not
to be?
ground level. Their rooms are, I would say, like 1 story up at least, maybe 2.
Okay.
They're not ground.
Yeah, they're
level.
definitely not ground level, because we saw in the flashback that on this night, Desdeer let Iolite down from a window balcony. So it is not the first floor.
Okay. Knowing that is the plan, is somebody think of the children and they're not at ground level, I'm going to wild shape into an ape,
Okay.
and I'm going to climb the building. Like,
Okay. You got to get across the gardens first.
well,
But,
I
yeah.
will still do an ape
As
because
an
I'll
ape.
be
Okay.
faster than a dwarf tripping over his beard.
So you're
there-
going full
I'm
Planet of the Apes right now?
fucking-
You're like an ape on the back of the horse?
I would get off because I would probably end up
Well, you got-
crushing Bartholomew, but
Are you doing anything? You're
Galloping
staying, You're staying
alongside.
beside. Okay. So you.
My
okay.
character has no family there, so
Okay. It's there for studies.
he's been assigned to protect or be with headmaster.
Valley Roan. Yep.
No,
Headmaster.
I'm sorry, with mistress, headmistress,
Oh.
or whatever we called you.
She's just a
Aurora.
professor.
Professor.
Yeah,
that
she's
that
a
was what he was
professor,
told to do, so that's what he's going to do.
Okay. I will say so Alora's first thoughts go to her family. The people that you're picturing in your head, your husband and his, bespeckled face, your son, and yes, he's 20, 21 years old, but forever.
Still our baby.
You're forever your baby with his curly hair and big, beautiful smile, and Iolite, who you have come to love as a daughter, who has always been so. She's always been so willing to help, but shy, but not. And yeah, they're adults, but they're never not your baby. Is there anyone in the assembly that Haare cares for personally?
he's just happy to be here.
Okay, so
We're just a couple of bachelors. Really, we care mostly about each other. This whole bit, the whole thing, we just cover
you
for it.
became friends.
There's a reason why we're supposed to harmonized
You're
so
right.
well.
Our new bar.
We're really,
group.
I was gonna say, we're actually really lovers.
You were just pretending to not know each other. So the things that would flash through your mind, you're not thinking necessarily of the first people that pop into your heads are not the kids. They're not kids as far as you're concerned. They're not your children. They are adults that live in the space that you've watched grow up, but they're not. Your headmaster is in this building. They are the strongest person that you know. Like the most impressive individual that you have come to know and respect. And they told you that you needed to stay with Alora, but you're staying with Alora because they told you this. And this person is just incredibly knowledgeable, powerful. There's almost a moment that goes through your head of like, who would be so stupid as to attack this place? And then it followed almost immediately by another fear of like, if they did that, the headmaster must be dead. And what does that mean? Like so many things going through your mind as you leap off of Bartholomew and like and shift into an ape. Your like knuckles hitting the ground and then using
I
all.
look like Donkey Kong, except Except the redness of my beard is the color of this
I
gorilla.
thought you were going to say was the tie.
Well, he does still have a little bit of a beard going, but the bright redness that was his beard is now the fur color of this silverback gorilla. So it's like red with the silver on the back instead.
That's cool.
Nice.
And
Just galloping
galloping alongside. I'm going to have you roll perception checks because you are going forward, all of you.
Is this based on vision?
Yeah, I would say yes. It's going to
Only
be
because
based
I
on-
actually,
don't turn to
in
it
reading
again.
this,
I read
Well,
that.
well,
and
advantage.
I have
I'm
something
going
called
to do
keen
that.
senses,
Gotta do
advantage
it.
on
This time.
vision
And you
based
totally
perception,
would.
which I
That's-
didn't.
Yep.
It was so
course.
much to read, like in a short time while I was driving.
It's okay. We're discovering who these folks are together.
Well, actually, it should be. You said it was perception.
Yep, perception.
15.
15, okay.
11.
11.
25.
Nice.
25. Okay, we're going to actually resolve the ape first. So,
The ape slips,
The ape.
falls, and breaks its neck.
I like that. Sounds like a band name. Resolve the Ape.
so Haare, Haare the ape. Wasn't there like
It all
Harambe or
works,
whatever?
Harambe.
Harambe.
Oh, you're gonna die, and everything's gonna go wrong for the next like 6 years.
Oh, no.
That is the shatter point of
Justice
our
for Harambe.
reality. Once Harambe was killed,
Yeah.
we slipped into the dark dimension.
So you barrel across, leaving who knows where Bartholomew ends up at this point. You just run across the gardens. You leap up onto the side of the building, and this stone and wood building, it is ornately decorated. There are just beautiful carvings. There was like no expense spared to build this assembly hall, and you start climbing up the side of the building. We see the two of you barreling forward towards the entrance. You do have to dismount to like go through the doors at that point. You let your horses go. But as Haare, you are climbing up the side of the wall, you miss looking through a window. You're kind of like going up so that the glass is, your body is just exposed by the glass as you're climbing up to the next. And when you get to like the second floor and hit that window, it's the easiest area where you can like hold. A blast of force comes through and shatters the window, hitting you and sending you falling down off of the window, off the side of the building, and you hit the ground. You are going to take...
Dead. Do I have a reaction?
Not in this case. This was based off your roll that you made as to whether or not you saw.
Oh.
You are going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground. Are you a regular-sized ape?
I was picturing like a gorilla. So
Okay.
I guess that depends on your definition of regular size.
Yes, that's a regular. No, I don't. I mean, like you're not a
Well, a
giant.
chimp is an ape, so that's much smaller than a gorilla.
Right, but you're not a giant ape.
No, I'm
basically.
not like King Kong size.
Right,
I
you're
don't
just an
think
ape.
it just says ape. If I could be bigger, yeah, totally.
No, not at a half. So you are down to 9 hit points, just so that you know.
Yes.
Okay, you've got it. So you slam down and hit the ground.
Oh,
You
because
only had
you're-
19
ape
hit
hit
points.
Yeah.
I forgot about. Yeah, it's your animal form.
Right. They don't see you because they've already entered into the building. And inside of this building, the first thing that the two of you see, Maegli and Alora, is that the lights have been like turned. It was dark anyway, but the lights appear to have been intentionally kind of dimmed or cut out entirely. As you enter into the Great Hall, there are stairs that kind of go up along the sides and lead off into the long hallways that then go around the entire perimeter of this building, you would have to like go up or off to the side to enter the hallway and then go into the middle. So you notice it's just very dark, and the things that you are seeing are like flashes of light and screaming and yelling. You see, you made your perception check to be able to get in here with no issues. You are able to kind of like shift yourself out of the way so that nobody is focusing on you until you enter the building. You see at least one of your compatriots from the assembly crumpled in the corner somewhere in the back. And immediately your thought, Alora, is your children, your, what would that be considered? Like your suite is upstairs and on the left-hand side. That is a way that you can go around to get to the main observatory area where Valley Rune is also potentially. You, unfortunately, Haare outside, you don't see this, but like taking stock very quickly of what's going on, you hear a crash, like breaking glass.
Just see the monkey getting thrown out the window.
What you did notice as you entered is that the front door was already open. So your like immediate thought is they came in through the front door. And by feeling that, depending on how much time they had from entering, and how long this has been going on, they might not have gotten as far as where you currently live.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next, what would you like to do next?
I would like to start heading up that like left staircase that will take, I think you said it was left, to go up towards like where my family would be. Do I see people like on the staircase, or do I have like a clear?
You do see that they're like trying to take stock. If you've got like 20-something people and there's like, or 25-ish, give or take, people, there's one who's gone over there in the corner. The two of you don't see, like you look and you don't see Haare. They went up the building as far as you know. You're more getting a sense of like, you don't see anybody like fighting on the stairs. It's more that people are in the halls at this point and in the rooms.
Okay. Yeah, then I think I'm gonna like beeline up the stairs and then try to like, I'm not just gonna sprint down the hallway, but I'm gonna run up the stairs and then like try to, without necessarily being seen right away, like look to see what's going on in like that hallway that I need to go down to get to where my family is.
I'm gonna have you make a stealth check or a perception. It's kind of basically going to be like, are you able to get up this way where nobody notices you, or is that not your intent and you're just trying to get up there so you can see what's going on?
Yeah, I'm more trying to just see what's
okay, so then you can make a perception. What's Maegli doing?
Just kind of going with Alora.
Are you trying to be stealthy? Are you trying to like take in anything else that's going around?
Yeah, if there's anyone coming up behind us or anything, just trying to take stock of like if there's any of whoever the enemy is that's attacking us. I mean, if I see him, I'm gonna blast him.
Okay.
That's all.
I'll have you
But he doesn't have any besides Valley Run.
Mm-hmm.
Valley Run. Again, he's just here. He's just studies here. He doesn't have like the strongest of ties.
Okay.
So
we'll make this also another perception check, but it's going to be a little bit of a different result. Like you're looking to see if there's anyone around, and if so, trying to get ahead of whatever they're doing.
right.
Where you're trying to determine what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Haare, outside, you just like hit the ground. Still in your ape form, what are you trying to do?
After I pick the glass out of my face, I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
But avoid the windows until I get to whatever level I think.
It would have been that window.
Oh, okay. Then I will be careful as I get to that window.
Okay, you're gonna climb up again.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and
Yeah. Before I was like,
At least you know the window's open.
this time like.
we're gonna say I think I'm gonna go with like a survival check with this to be like the best way to get up there, utilizing the hand and footholds in such a way that you're avoiding the window, but it's gonna be a little bit more difficult because the window is the easiest area to climb up with a body like that.
Mine was that was vision based, right? Because it's the perception.
Yes.
All right, so it was 24.
24.
Thank God.
24.
24.
Oh shit.
14.
14.
There
Okay.
we go. Bow.
So the ape goes up again. You like kind of climb up
Not
the
to be
side
deterred.
there.
Monkey.
I will say you get to the top of the where the window is, and ooh, that's a nat 20.
Get your paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
There's an individual who leans out, and had they rolled anything other than a nat 20, I would have given you the first chance.
Say, just grab and
No, like you're kind of off to the
No.
side. They lean and they see you, and they are gonna cast burning hands on you.
Hey, I have that.
You get knocked out of the window again.
Yeah.
And
Fuck
burning
you for
hands, is
doing
that
anything.
an attack or is that a save from you?
Oh, I don't have it up. I just know it's something
got
that
it.
it says I
Burning
have.
hands, 5e. So you like close range. Sorry. They are going to. You must make a dexterity saving throw.
You should have good dex with being an ape, right?
Oh yeah.
Ape stats.
Where are my ape stats?
Ape stats.
Oh, was I supposed to roll my whatever you just said as an ape?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Perception or whatever.
Yeah, perception. I guess it doesn't really matter because
No,
they
it's
rolled
fine.
a nat 20. All right, what am I doing? Dex. It's a 17.
Okay. You see this fire just erupts out of the hand, and the person like yelps as they see an ape right in front. You do take. It was 18
Oh,
divided by 2, which is 9. I
I'm
will.
not an ape anymore.
I will let you make a dexterity saving throw, or I'll let you use your reaction to describe something that you would do to try to change this to be in your favor. You're still going to take the same amount and you're going to change back into yourself, but what do you do?
Let me see what I can do.
I will throw out there, how many wild shapes do you have?
I have.
I think it's 2 per long
2.
rest.
It actually says per short.
Short or long rest.
Shit. Hold on. I have. I can summon a wildfire spirit,
Okay.
but I don't know what that can be. If it's just from the wild shape list, or if it's from something else.
It's a separate thing. It is a spirit. Wildfire druid. You are able to, let's see, circle of wildfire. You can summon a wildfire spirit, primal spirit bound to your soul. You can expend 1 use of your wild shape. The spirit appears in an unoccupied space that you can see within 30 feet, and each creature within 10 feet must succeed on a dex saving throw or take fire damage. It's friendly to you. It shares your initiative, but if you do not. So basically, you have to prevent yourself from falling.
Well, I was gonna say, if I can't turn it into anything that flies, and I don't know what list I choose from for this wildfire spirit.
It's
if
just a spirit. There's no list. You summon a spirit.
Can I summon a great burning eagle that I can fall onto the back of,
No,
a la
it's a-
Gandalf?
No, you just summon it's a spirit. There is no. You're not summoning an animal. It's a fire.
Oh, so
spirit.
it's not corporeal. No. Okay, I thought it was like.
You said you're gonna give him like a dex save.
Yeah, so you can have a dex. I would say dex or strength to like hold on to the side of the building even as yourself.
Or to like catch the next window down.
Or you can try to grab the person. Like, what do you want to try to do?
So I revert back to myself.
Yeah.
I have one more wild shape. Can I instantly turn back into an ape?
You can.
And then grab him by the collar?
Yeah, you definitely you can.
And then let myself fall.
You don't have to
Oh, I don't have to
fall.
Oh,
you can
okay.
hold on as an ape. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My whole thing was like, you don't want to fall again.
All right. Yes. No, I don't. Okay. So I'm not an ape. Now I'm an ape. I'm
Yeah.
just
You just kind of, I would say, this person like and like lets all this fire out, and you're burning, and you can feel your concentration. Not that it's a concentration spell, but just in
ape
general.
friend.
Your pulling
Unless
of
this
the
is a bad guy.
weave, starting to let go, but then you just like push through that pain, and the ape, as you were like forming back into yourself, it just goes right back to being. And you are able to grab on to the person. What are you doing with them?
I guess I just want to see who the hell fuck it is. Like.
Okay, so you're just gonna hold on for a moment.
Just big ape hand. Just I want to grab them and like bring them closer so I can see who it is.
Okay. You pull this individual out of the window so that you can kind of see who they are, holding on with your feet and your other hand so that you can get a good look. This is a half-elven person. They're probably in their like late 20s. How they look with a half-elf, they age a little bit differently, but they look a little like weathered, like they are mercenary or have seen some shit or whatever. They don't look like they're a bookish person, but they look scared. And are just kind of like screaming at you in a language that you understand. They're just like, no, but it's not somebody from your assembly.
Okay.
Kill him.
You know what?
Yeah,
If this is Erdnot, he would have just pulled him out the window, but this is a scholarly man of books. So I'm just going to like, I don't think I can knock him out, but like I just want to like, can I do multi-attack on him to try to knock him out? Or
You are hanging out the side of off the side of the building.
She is trying what she can do to give you.
I'm
fun.
going instead of pulling him and dropping him out the window, I'm going to shove him with my full ape strength
And then
as
enter.
hard as I can against the wall, and then
Okay.
swing into the window.
All right. So we cut back over to
Ape read books.
we cut back over to Alora and Maegli. So you are looking either way. You were looking out, like coming up the back of the from behind Alora, and trying to survey. You see one of your own crumpled in the corner. Hard to tell what they might have died from, but definitely like not moving.
Definitely dead.
Yeah, I mean, a little part of you was hoping maybe they're faking it to like try to ride through this thing, but you know
Wake
that's
up,
one of
Mama.
those.
Just gonna ride it out in the corner.
Yeah, just like
Just play
Usually
tag.
don't do that in burning buildings.
Yeah. You do see across the way through some of the windows that it's like there's windows on both sides, like those that are facing out, and then those that are inside, so you can see people walking down the hallways from inside the building. You see that there's a definite fight going on the other side, but nothing that appears to be happening right now. Alora getting to the top of the stairs and looking left and right. So you have a choice to make as you head to the top. To the right, that's where you know your family kind of like lives. Like that's where your kids' bedrooms are and everything. To the left is a little bit like further and then going around. that's where Temmond works late nights. So there's almost like where the kids would be, although Desi and Iolite don't share a room. They have separate rooms. Or there's where Temmond might be who can help.
Can I see if there's like fighting happening if there's like action happening where the kids' rooms would be?
You looking down both ways, you can see that there's like a blast that comes from down further the hallway, and the hallway ends at the balcony that goes outside, and it's far.
Yeah.
There's fighting on either side.
Okay.
So maybe not in the hallway with you, but definitely like encroaching upon it and coming around the corners.
I think she's gonna go for Temmond because she's like, that's my partner. Like, that's my person. Like, together we are unstoppable. So
Okay.
she's gonna go try to get him.
All right. So you rush to the left and start heading down that way. Following.
For now.
Okay. The way you like get to the top, you see Alora running to the left. That is the opposite way to where you would go to get to the center. So you could go to the right and then continue down and then turn, and then the center piece would be that way. She would be going the long way around. You could eventually get there, but you're going the long way around. So just throwing that out there.
And the fighting that I saw is in the opposite direction?
She's heading in that direction.
Oh, okay.
Because if it's like a
Alright.
square, yeah, she's kind of coming
Okay,
around.
that's fine.
All right, so you continue heading down. As you're running, you can see like and hear people are screaming and yelling. As you run by one of the rooms, you see somebody get like thrown back. You don't know if it's your friend or whoever is attacking, thrown across a room, and another person comes forward. There is magic. You hear a scream as someone clearly is like impaled on something. There's the sound of non-magical means of attacking. And as you run down this hall in the direction of where Temmond would be, from behind you, Maegli, I'm calling Maegli, you hear several things going on all at once. You're trying to like wrap your mind around all of the noises that you're hearing. You hear actually Alora's name being called out, and you recognize the voice, and it sounds like, from what you can hear, it sounds like Temmond is behind you, back the other way.
He'll grab your shoulder.
Okay. I'm gonna spin around like, what?
I heard-
Alora!
Do I hear him?
Yeah.
See him?
You,
All right.
you don't see him, but then you're like turn and run the other way. That does slow you down. Yes. What is your AC as this character? I think it was
14.
Okay, that's what I rolled on the dice. You
Not a good thing.
no. You feel yourself get hit almost, and you watch it happen. It seems like it's an accident that wrong place, wrong time, as a, lucky you, bolt of some kind of like electric energy comes out of the room and just strikes you in the shoulder, and you take 1 point of damage as you're like kind of trying to run the opposite way. Haare, you pull yourself into the room as the ape and the other person. Make a strength check. Man, this die.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay. So they get slammed up against the wall and like fall down, but are not knocked out because I rolled another natural 20 for them.
Whoa.
And they like kind of stand up and are looking at you. They're breathing heavy. What are you doing as this person is looking at you?
Is the doorway? Are there doors?
Yeah.
Or just like archways? And
No, there are doors.
okay,
Yeah.
is it open?
Yes, it is.
All right.
And it would lead out into the hallway
is-
on the second floor.
And I'm if the leader guy is here, he would be on this floor.
Yeah, but in and around and into the center. Like you are about to see, if we pictured where you are, these two are about to turn back around, and then you would end up seeing them running down the hallway that way.
Okay. I'm going to run out of the room, and I'm going to give like a good King Kong roar at the guy I just tossed to intimidate him to not do an opportunity attack as I come out, and I guess I would see them and I guess go in their direction.
To coordinate with them. Okay, make an intimidation check as you try to see if you can prevent this person.
What is it? Intimidation.
Yeah, that should be charisma, I believe.
Charisma. Charismatic ape.
It's probably a minus, if anything, but...
It is a -2.
Yeah.
Non-charismatic ape. Again, another great band name.
I'm charismatic.
Well, that's a 6.
Ooh.
Okay. You like roar in this person's face, and like, although a little trickle of pee like comes down out of their leg and everything, they are going to try to they're going to try to lash out with their that's poetic, their dagger that they have in their hand, and it's a natural one, so they just like they go to like
do they slip in their own pee?
and they slip in their own pee, hit and fall down onto
Roll
the ground.
for pee damage.
What you do see as you turn and are able to kind of like dash out of this room, you can see Temmond, Goldenleaf like sprinting down the hallway. You see like the light glinting off of his spectacles that you've come to know and love, and he's running in your direction towards you, but not looking at you. He's like he's looking at an angle because he saw his wife kind of go the other way, and so you kind of come out of the room as these two, you all like merge together, and Temmond runs up and just grabs onto Alora and hugs you tightly. And says, "What are you doing here?"
What? There was nothing. There was no one. What's happening? Are you all right?
No. We're under attack, and I don't... And looking at him, you can see he is worse for wear. Like, this... You don't know how long this has been happening. It could have only been a couple of minutes, and he could be badly hurt this way. But he is not doing well. And in that moment, you also hear, all of you hear, like, cutting through the sound of all of the chaos that's going on, you hear, "I allied." Just like a yell out, calm, but like piercing, kind of like it echoed, like thaumaturgy had been used to amplify this voice. And Temmond's eyes like go wide, and you see like kind of two things that happen all at once. From both sides of you, the back where you all had kind of met in this hallway, out from behind you and in front, facing where Temmond had come from, you see a group of individuals. Like, there are some that are still fighting off in who knows where, but you see I'm trying to think of which direction this person would have been in this moment. From behind you, the direction that Haare came from. You kind of turn and look in the direction that Temmond is looking, which is behind Maegli as well. As a halfling, blonde hair. He looks to be like in his mid-40s or 30s, something like that. Again, hard to tell with how all of these different races age. Kind of shaved down on the side of his head, and dressed in leathers and Nothing fancy, just kind of regular clothes, and flanked by a couple of additional individuals. It's hard to even take in who they are. They're just people. But clearly this individual is like the leader of them. And then another couple of folks that are part of whatever this group is are like, they have you kind of surrounded here. And there's a momentary look of confusion on this person's face as they look at you. Their hands go up and they look at you more specifically, Alora, and they say, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. I'm so sorry." And you don't even have time to react before Temmond goes to do something.
I don't
And
recognize this person.
you do not recognize this person, no.
He knows my business, though.
Yes, he does. You've never seen this person before in your life. I will actually let Alora have a history roll, just to see what happens. As you like kind of slow motion, your brain is trying to catch up with what is going on. You're trying to see if this face means anything to you.
13.
And it doesn't. You have never seen this person before. You want to have seen this person before.
Like, they so clearly know who I am.
They do. So clearly know who you are. And Temmond moves quickly. But before he can do anything, you, like, your body is almost like trying to say no, like, don't move in this moment, but he has already started. And you, Haare and Maegli, have a better angle because Alora was so close. And you see from behind Temmond very quickly these forces that you know very well to be magic missile that come out from one of the individuals who was behind and slam into the body of Temmond, just hitting him and sending him skidding away from you, Alora, and down the hall a little bit towards where this halfling and the other folks are, towards you. Like, he just slides and he's instantly gone. You can see that he's gone. I will let you have, like, in this, as a reaction to this, very quickly, what, if anything, would you do? You may do nothing.
I have a ranged weapon attack. It's called rock.
All right.
Can I pick up a piece of like debris and you chuck it at them?
Yeah, I would say that the building here is a combination of stone and wood, and there have been, you know, spells that have smashed against the wall and caused debris to fall. And as he gets hit, like, you're close enough to the ground. You're a dwarf. Just that, like, scoop and fling. Who are you trying to get?
I guess
There was the person behind who you saw because you are looking in that direction.
that's the person
Who did the
shot them.
spell.
All right, I'll throw the rock at him.
Okay. What does rock do? Is it just rock? Like,
It's just a rock. It's a +5 to hit.
okay.
1d6 +3 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
I thought you just had a rock in your
It
pocket.
has multi-attack
I
and
cast
rock.
rock.
So it's like
It's like an ape
it's
specific
just
skill.
like-
specific
Scoop it up,
skill. It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
good at throwing rocks.
Yeah, you scoop it up and fling it. Go ahead.
17.
Okay. Yeah, that hits the person. They, like, you hit them, like, square in the face, and they, like, their
Any
body.
damage? Oh.
No, you don't have to worry
Okay.
about damage. Their
It was a 4.
Yeah, their body like twirls, and you see the halfling holds his hands up and says, "Wait, wait, wait! What do you want to do?"
Just gonna wait.
Okay, just kind of like seeing Temmond's body just slide across the floor. What is Alora doing?
Like, I know he's gone.
You don't want to know that he's gone. But he is gone. Like, it happened fast.
I think, like, she lets out just the most, like, visceral, guttural, like, the kind of scream that, like, if you hear it, it hurts you, like, hearing someone scream like this. Just the pain. And the scream morphs into a roar, and she's going to wild shape into a bear.
Okay.
A brown bear.
Should have done an ape.
I'm going to say Maegli, with your advantage on perception. What you see, even as, like, Alora begins to shape shift past her, you see Desdear Goldenleaf, who has run out from his room. He has Iolite by the hand. It happens so fast as Temmond's body kind of slides across the floor, and you look and see Desi's eye. His face has turned, even though he has Iolite's hand. He looks at you. You make eye contact, and you can see that he just watched his father be blown away by this magic missile. There were a couple of folks behind, but you can behind that are part of this other group that has attacked you. So the one that got hit in the face, that's kind of like currently like body twirling. You are making eye contact with Desdear. His eyes are just, it's like he doesn't, everything's happening so fast he doesn't have time to register. He saw it, but you see him turn, and he is running and leading Iolite the opposite direction. So this is what you see.
Are there windows or anything by where we're standing?
There are windows on either side. It's kind of like a hallway this big as the room, the space that we're in, and there are windows on both sides. So second, coming back around as you're watching, Alora is going to shift into the bear. We have the ape. You watch the halfling who goes, "Please don't do this." Like, that's what he gets out. Is there anything that you're going to do?
You're going to take a few steps and jump through the window.
Which window?
There's
one that leads
whatever
outside.
leads to the outside. My plan is to jump. Since I saw that there was children, I mean, he's like 90 years old as a half elf, so he's going. My goal, we'll figure out how you want to do this, is to leap out the window, change into a giant wolf spider, and skitter up the side of the building and try to find wherever they're going.
Okay. So we'll have you crash through the window.
He's gonna like watch what's happening, and he's just gonna think like, "I'm sorry." You know, like,
yeah.
I don't have ties to this place. I study here, but I'll see what I can do.
So we're gonna say there are 3 people behind the halfling, and when you do that, they are going to attack you.
So
As
they're
you
this
go
way,
crash.
and I'm turning.
Yeah, so like you are facing this way. You saw Desi and Iolite running down that way. In front of you is Alora, who is changing into a bear right now.
Do I have half cover from the bear?
No, because the ones that are attacking you are behind
We
you.
live hiding behind bears.
Scrape and scratch for everything you can, right?
Behind you is where the halfling is,
Oh, okay.
and the other 3, because they've got you from both sides. So they are all 3 going to attack you as you go through the window, which is also glass. So either way, you're going to get hurt, but...
He's trying to, as we go, also wild shape into the
Right.
spider. Cling to the side of the building.
So you feel searing pain as 2 out of the 3 of them hit you. Before you can switch into the wild shape, because you've got to get through that window.
Mhm.
Which is also going to be...
I'm going to get murked on. I know, right? I'm gonna get murked on this before I even get through.
Get out the window.
Not necessarily.
His body falls out the window.
You are gonna take.
Half spider. He's only got halfway through.
Like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly.
Yeah, just disgusting.
That's what happens if you get killed mid-wild shape. You
Yeah,
just get halfway turned.
You just died really gross.
Like a head with spider legs.
You it takes
His nose is the thorax.
17.
What'd you say?
Your nose is the thorax.
It just transforms in the most grotesque way imaginable.
Well, it's like when you ever see a transformer. It's like things like
17 points of damage.
spin around
Total?
and turn
Yeah.
and back. You know,
Oh, yeah.
It's a
not
variety
like-
of damage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good. Just a
and-
whole bunch of everything.
Yeah, a whole bunch of everything as you smash through the window, getting cut up, but then switch yourself into the spider, and then start moving yourself in the direction, kind of like along the side of the building that you saw Desdeer running, but on the outside.
Yeah, I was outside, or if it's all like glass. Is it? It's not all glass.
It's not
I'm
all
gonna
glass. No.
see
Yeah,
which way I
you
went.
can
Okay.
as you go by windows, you'd be
His
able
goal
to
is
see.
to help the children.
Okay. All right, Alora. What are you doing?
Angry bear.
Yes.
I'm definitely gonna go for wherever the magic missile came from.
Okay, so you
and
could just kinda
killing
turn-
things,
Okay,
people,
turn your
whatever
body.
they say.
While this is happening, you do hear the halfling is like, "Please don't make me do this." What are you doing, Haare?
All right, so we're in the hallway here.
Yeah.
The halfling's here.
Nope. The halfling is pretend that like I'm the halfling right now.
Okay, you're the halfling.
You are
We are.
Haare. Well, now Maegli went out the window to the left, to my left.
I'm like, who the fuck's Maegli?
I don't even say it this whole time.
Spider boy.
Haare is here and directly in front of me, the halfling, as the ape. In front of the ape is a bear now who is turning themselves around to look
So-
that way.
So
Because-
this is the magic missile guy that
Yes.
I throw a rock at.
You threw yes, that one, yes, and then there's another person next to them.
Okay, so she's coming this way.
Yes, she's
Bear,
just
yeah.
turned around basically to be in melee with those people.
I'm going to use my ape speed, not a thing, just my movement, my 30 feet of movement to charge at the halfling and do a multi-attack.
Okay. At the half, you're turning around to go towards.
I
The-
thought I
the
was
halfling.
facing the halfling. That's what we just.
You are the closest to the halfling, so you can just turn around if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Just turn with your ape speed.
Turn around. Okay.
Very fast turn.
All right. So roll for multi-attack.
Yes.
I'll do these one at a time. I don't have good luck when I do both at the same time. So that's a dirty 20 on one
Okay.
and 10 on the other.
Okay. You barrel forward and like one hefty solid ape hand like smack this guy across the face. He is pushed back into his people who are like ready there to help him, and you see him turn and like the look on his face as there's like blood coming out of his nose and mouth from that hit. I mean, you get hit by an ape. You can know it. He is going to react to that. Are you going to do anything else in that moment?
That's all the ape can do.
Okay. Alora, you are turning towards the one that killed your husband.
Yeah, I probably didn't see which one.
Yeah, no.
So
they're-
it would be like whoever's the closest.
Okay.
It's the guy with the rock next to his head.
You see-
Rock-shaped dead in his head.
There is one who's kind of been like pushed up against. So go ahead and make attack. I believe bear has multi-attack.
Yeah.
Claw, 2 claws and a bite, I think.
It says makes 2 attacks, one
Oh,
with
2
its bite and one with its claws.
Gotcha. Okay.
So do I roll like one and then the other?
Yeah, you can roll. You can roll both. It depends. Are you going after the same person? You're not, or are you doing like 1 and 1?
Probably the same person.
Okay, yeah.
If I'm thinking like a bear.
A mama bear.
Do you add, right? Mama bear.
I think it's +5, right?
Do I add to it? Sorry. For a person who plays a druid, I don't actually ever use
I
wild
think
shape, so.
I think it's a +5.
Oh, +6 to hit.
Okay, then
Sorry,
+6.
6, 12, 11.
Okay,
That's the roll.
and that was your bite or your claw?
That was my bite.
Okay, go ahead and do the next one.
Same fucking thing. Oh my god. Same thing. 11.
Okay. You heard as Alora like morphed into this bear, that scream that she was doing kind of like transitioned unnaturally. If you weren't druids, you would have been really freaked out by the sound of a bear, of a woman's like scream of loss and despair transitioning into a bear's roar of despair. Like something, there's just this strange merging of the sounds as she like turns and lunges towards the one person who was kind of like caught off guard by the rock that hit them in the side of the head. I'm actually going to have you roll again, because we'll say that because of that rock you get advantage on these, because this person would have been disoriented from getting hit. Whether or not it helped, I don't know, but
22.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rip 'em
Okay.
apart.
So
You
that
can roll the
was
next
that like the bite?
Yeah, the
second
bite.
roll?
Hmm.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 19.
Yeah.
Dirty 19.
19.
Yeah, those will hit. So this person, you just watch the bear kind of like tear into that like mouth clamping on an arm and then the claw ripping open the stomach. This individual doesn't like kind of really stand a chance against. And you see the other person who's next to them just kind of like back away slightly. Desi and Iolite are still running down the hall, but you don't see them. You only see what's directly in front of you.
Just like a polar bear after a hunt, like, you know, the all white face is just stained red.
Through the window, as you are running along the side of the building, there are going to be shots at you trying to get to you.
It's probably friendly fire too. People are like, giant fucking spider.
But they don't, like, you kind of leap up out of the way or just like hold back as you see something shoot through the window and you keep going.
Because he's got 8 eyes.
Got
Always
that
on a swivel.
spidey sense.
You watch in you Haare, I would say, because you're more like, you didn't just watch your loved one get destroyed in front of you. You see, and you're facing the halfling. You see, again, all of this slowed down as he kind of turns, spits out the side of his mouth, and then just like takes a deep breath. And you would expect something more to come from whatever it is that this individual is doing. But he just takes a deep, deep breath and then stares at you. And the other people next to him, in almost unison, as if they have practiced this before, they all begin to move their hands and start chanting something all together. And you watch him kind of begin to glow a little bit, and these like, and his hands go out and these little lights start like coming out from his hands, as the 3 behind him all cast the same spell in your direction. And you, eyes like wide, see electricity that just shoots out, amplified, at you and hit your body. What is the last thing that Haare would see in this moment, as you will be completely and utterly vaporized by the amount of magical energy that comes to you now.
The eyes of the halfling. Does just never moves my eyes from his eyes.
I'm going to have you in this moment roll a, it's going to be either history or insight or just straight intelligence.
As an ape or as me?
As you, because you're wild shape, you get to keep your own stuff.
All right, so which one do you want me to roll?
History, insight, intelligence, any of those.
Yep, they all have nothing.
Okay.
A plus nothing. 7 plus nothing.
Okay. So the last thing that Haare sees is almost like the entire hallway behind becomes a bright white light, and the only thing that he can see piercing through that is the eyes of this halfling, kind of a little bit like bloodshot, as if they've been up all night or have been crying or something, and it's just looking, and the slight bit of like anger that has been released in your direction, like, how dare you touch me, without saying the words. That's the last thing that Haare sees as the electricity enters, and there is an explosion of
Red fur.
matter, but to the point where when it's all done in that instance, there is no evidence that you even existed except for a scorched place on the ground.
Oh, damn.
Should have thrown a barrel at him.
I was thinking, like, now, young Skywalker, you will die.
Maegli, you are continuing to run along the side of the building. Is there anything else that you're just dedicated to dashing?
Which is 80 feet because I have 40 feet of movement. And I can walk on...
So much left.
I can walk on basically any surface.
Right. Okay, so you're running. Make a perception check.
Vision based?
Yes. With advantage with your 8 eyes, yeah.
That's a 19 plus, I think, 6.
Okay.
Shit. I think it's 20. It's either 24 or 25. Where is it? You said it was perception plus 6, so that's
Yeah.
25. I like that advantage for the perception thing. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's nice. As you're running along, you happen to pass or come to the window that allows you to peer across to where the hallway, where it links to the middle of the observatory, and you can see just a slight shadow, but one you recognize, of your headmaster, like kind of coming around the bend. So there's kind of 2 directions that you could go here, is go back in to link up with the headmaster, or continue so that you can find where the kids are going.
He's going to continue on.
Okay. You keep...
And the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to imagine a spider, like, trying to get through the glass. Like, you know how spiders are strong, but they're like tap, 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 tap. So I just don't imagine it smashing through, so.
Okay. So you just continue, and you end up coming around the bend, and are kind of almost like perched up on the corner looking down, and you can see Desi is lowering Iolite down off of the side of the building. What is Alora doing? Alora would...
I was going to say eating. She's eating.
Yeah.
The smell of burnt monkey fills the air.
Okay. I'm trying to imagine.
The hallway just lit up, in bright light
behind me,
behind
and I
you.
had just ripped this person to shreds.
Yeah.
The other person kind of moved away. I think maybe the blast behind me is enough to snap my brain back enough to be like, I should, like rational thought comes back a bit, and it's like, get to where the kids' rooms are.
Okay, so you can
Because
start.
hopefully they're still like shut in their rooms. There's hadn't come out as far as she knows.
Okay.
So kind of taking off that way.
So I will say, actually, as like you kind of come to and look down the hall, she would see Desdeer, like the back of him leaned over outside, like he's like you can see the balcony at the very end of the hallway. So she would see him down there.
And I don't see any people, like threats between me and where they
Not
are.
at the moment. Like in this split second, there is another person right next to you.
Right.
But yeah,
But
nobody.
no one like going after.
No.
Heading that way.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I think I'm going to head. It's like, is she gonna? Do I want to go for the guy next to me, or do I want to? Even though I know they might be in danger soon, even if they're not right this second. I think heading for where the kids are going out the window.
Okay. So this individual is going to attack you as you go through and go by. Okay. Yep. You would hear behind the halfling, if I can find my dice as I'm trying to think and talk, yells out, "You weren't supposed to be here." And you are going to take, can't find any more dice, 9 points of slashing damage as like running past the individual, and you're kind of like heading down the hallway. The group of folks behind, there's going to be you don't even really kind of have time to feel it, all of the hits that come, just one after another. How many hit points do you have as a bear?
I have 57 left.
57.
Damn.
It's kind of like this
Ape
slow
didn't have
motion
much.
cinematic as like you are running down as this bear, and these magic missiles are coming and just slamming into your body. But you've done training. You've done training, as all of you had done it, like as druids, because you need to know the different types of magics. And you have been hit with a magic missile before, because like you need to know, and you have to like practice your shield and like all of those things that people do. These are so much stronger than they have any right to be. And at one point, as one of them hits you as the bear, you spin and turn back into your human form. So many had come, and you can see this like procession that is the halfling moving, just kind of walking, and everyone else walking behind, and he has his hands out, and there's just energy flowing from him to the people next to him and behind him, who are releasing the magic in your direction. And so like that final kind of spin is like nothing you have ever seen before. This person is channeling energy to those around them, and it is allowing for the magic to be even stronger. And the spin and turn, but the look that you see, that Alora sees on this person's face, is like a sadness. And she can hear, "You weren't supposed to be here." And like another spin, and she can see Desi like turn around and see her, and like they make eye contact, and then a figure like steps out of the hallway, out of one of the side hallways, and into her vision, and she immediately sees the headmaster, Valirune. But that's the last thing that she sees.
So that's like between her
And Desi. Yeah. Outside, the giant spider is watching and sees, I would imagine in a way to like not have Eyelet get completely freaked out, but like hovering over, you can see Eyelet climbing down, like looking where she is, and she has a cloak. You watched as Desi put the cloak over her, and then he kind of turned and disappeared from view because you can't, you're looking down. And you can see Eyelet like crying and climbing herself down.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
If Desi didn't come out,
He didn't. He went back
he's
inside.
gonna like crawl down and like look inside the window.
Okay. What Maegli would see in this moment is immediately see Desi has turned and is looking. This would be the moment where he sees Alora switch back from bear to human, and like spinning around from the slamming of the force of the magic missiles. Even not, just looking at it, especially at a level 6 druid or level 5, level 6, he would be able to tell that this is the energy that is coming out from the people attacking with this individual in front somehow energizing them. Those magic missiles are incredibly strong. Normally, if somebody gets hit by a magic missile, it's almost like, I hate to put it this way, but I can't really think of another way of putting it. It's like if you're being bludgeoned to death, but like in a way where you'll be bruised.
This is like getting hit with shotguns.
Yeah, it's more of like, you're being, instead of it being like, like you're getting hit, it's like she's being spun. Her body is being like a rag doll. Like even when it was a bear, the amount of force pushing it around the hallway. And at the same moment, seeing, kind of blocking the view at that point, this impressive robed figure that you know very well to be the headmaster of the Sidereal Assembly. What do you do?
At that point,
anything?
he'd crawl in through the window.
Okay, you're coming in as a spider.
And probably unwild shape? What's the term?
Yeah.
Unshape. Reshape as a
Unshape.
person.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna kind of like stand
You're
behind.
gonna grab Desi.
I wanted to, but the
web.
problem is I don't know what she has written, so I don't want to fuck with
No, you can
things.
do whatever. This is like there's only one
It's
way.
all written.
Alora is done. Like there's
Didn't-
too
I
much
didn't-
magic
I only
here.
know what Eyelet knows, and she's gone.
I just don't want to twist with things that already
Nope.
might.
Yeah,
You can
she-
do
I
what
don't
you-
have anything else that is set in stone.
He's there to back up the headmaster now. He feels really bad, obviously, that his two compatriots just got fucking murked.
You don't know what happened to me.
Yeah, you don't.
True, I don't
You don't
see
see
that.
Sign anywhere.
You, from your angle, can see that Desi has, like, as you come in and, like, morph back and, like, land on the ground and look up, you see that Desi has, like, frozen in space. As has almost everybody else, except, like, Valirune is headed down the hallway in the direction. You almost not really knowing at this point what to do. There's so much magic and energy coming from this foreign group.
At that point, probably try to grab Desi and be like, go. And to be completely honest, he'd probably leave too.
Okay, so you kind of like
He would-
grab
I-
Desi
I
and
would-
pull into a side room.
Because I'll try to like climb down the window is what he would
Oh,
be trying.
Desi's in, so
Oh.
you'd have to kind of pull him back out. And,
Sure, then that
okay,
works.
trying to
Stayed
like
a
pull him.
spider.
I just didn't want to fuck with anything that was already. Part of me did want to be like,
So as Alora's like vision, the last thing that she sees, person, is actually the headmaster who blocks her way of seeing her son. But she saw him, and then she just falls to the ground, beaten by these force bolts.
Dead?
Dead.
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 D-E-D.
Dead.
Dead.
Desi sees this. There is no sound that he makes. He'll
do that like when you just grab somebody, just like, hey, it's okay.
and he's just kind of not goes limp, but kinda goes limp. And what Maegli is able to see, like past as you're kind of like pulling Desi, almost at a certain point, something clicks where it's like, we've got to get out of this hallway. You watch the energy and feel the energy in this hallway. It just kind of like begins to amplify in the space. You watch your headmaster like raises his hand. The air starts crackling all around on the other side. The halfling, I keep wanting to say gnome because in my head he's like so small. The halfling has his hands out, and his people behind him are all like using their hands, muttering together. I'm gonna look up one thing before I.
The night time is the right time.
Part of me like wanted to say the spider, and it was just like, I had the image of picking him up and then doing like the wet, like like dropping on like a web, like so, and then skittering off. But I'm really hesitant to like fuck with people.
Well,
so.
now you gotta climb out the window as people.
Yeah, you watch a variety of spells that kind of get launched by all of these different folks behind the halfling in the direction of the headmaster. You see these like tendrils of darkness that come out from one person and start shooting out towards the headmaster. You watch another one that has like created this fire and just like shoots out in that direction. All of it, you can see there's like almost little flicks of the finger as whatever energy is inside of this person is amplifying their magic. You can see a one person who like lets loose this crackling of lightning. It like twins itself and splits, and all of this is coming towards the headmaster. Who?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And there's no... The look on the halfling's face is almost like just determination. Like it switched from, like he looked at the body of Alora and then his eyes shot up and he's looking directly at the headmaster, very focused. But you watch... As I get back to where I am... You watch the headmaster, he yells whatever incantation it was that he was preparing, he just yells it out. And this surge of what appears to be like pure radiant energy just pushes out from his body, bursting forth down the hallway, and just like enveloping all of the magic that was coming his way gets like slammed. It either gets dissipated or it kind of gets pushed back. And you kind of see from your angle holding on to Desi, who has not said a word and is not moving. It's almost like the energy in that hallway shifts, like time is morphing or being warped in some way. There's like the lights from behind, even like the lights from the stars outside almost seem to be like a little bit brighter for just a moment. And you watch them all stagger back for a second, and then he raises his hands very quickly, and cracking through the wood as if like taking the energy from any kind of little sapling or little bit of green that was growing in the walls, pulls up, and in some cases with the people that are behind the halfling, it just like tears them into the side of the wall. And in others it like pulls them down, but for the halfling in particular, it kind of like rips him down into the floor. And you watch the headmaster just continuing to step forward. The other people all are not moving, but the halfling is still moving. And you see the headmaster just kind of like kneels down next to him and whispers something you're too far away to hear. And you see the halfling like spits up in his face. And then he stands up, the headmaster, leaving all of the like bits of the other folks kind of like embedded in the wall or in the ground. And he turns and looks and sees you and Desdeer over on the side. And he says, Maegli, we will bring this one into the dungeons below, and we will find out what this was all about. Desdeer, come here, my boy. And Desi just kind of like moves forward and is looking down at the body of his mother, and like eyes look up towards the body of where his father is, and Valley Room grabs him and like kind of holds him. He's got this huge robe that was like billowing as this was going on, and just kind of like wraps him so that he can't see. And they head out of the hallway and towards the observatory. And that basically we kind of leave this scene with Haare standing in the hallway as the fighting kind of is dying down. The sounds.
Haare?
Sorry, Maegli. Standing in the hallway. Haare is gone. Vaporized.
Oh,
I was like, did we just go back in time? What?
He's still standing in the hallway, just in spirit form.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's like, son of a...
Just kind of standing in the hallway looking at the bodies of the two very high-ranking, but not even second or third. They're professors, but the person that you were sent to be with, and one of the most respected folks, two of the most respected people in the assembly, the halfling who was like tied down to the ground, still alive, which in, looking at how it destroyed everyone else, even that is amazing. And just like Maegli having to collect themselves as they look at everything that has just happened, and then look down the hallway as Valley-Rune is leading Desdeer away from the scene. And that's kind of where we close, unless there's one final thing that Maegli would like to do.
No.
Just looking down the hall.
I like the idea of the halfling in the floor, you standing there just looking at the destruction and facing him, and he's just like pulls a Beetlejuice like, hey you, down here. Got a proposition for you. How about let me go?
And that is what happened the night of the attack on the Sidereal Assembly.
Is that how you envisioned it?
It's much more detailed and exciting and tragic than I envisioned.
Yeah, I didn't feel good when you described how she saw her, like, my boy.
I'm glad she got to see he's alive before
Yeah.
she died. That was something I was hoping for her.